We start with a round called Headliners. Here's a picture of the spectacular opening to the Olympic Games. But what does BGMC stand for?
Is it British Gas Managers Celebrate?
Is it British Games Much Crapper?
Is it bottled gas meets cigarette?
I know this one, actually. It's Barry George, Merry Christmas.
Is it Badger's Grenade Mouse Compound?
That's a very large mouse compound, isn't it? I didn't know the mice were capable of that, and it's all gone to nothing because of the badger's attack.
I didn't know the badgers were capable of that. That's appalling. They grenaded it,
The
for
thing
God's
is,
sake. This is truly an escalation.
The thing is, Dara, you anger a badger, it will do anything. I saw a pensioner punch a badger in the face. Within seconds, no skin.
On that, but I mean, the badger going and sourcing grenades is the bit I find particularly
I'll be honest
impressive.
with you, it was a joke. I'm now being held accountable for something.
Let me get this straight. You anger a badger to make it do anything? Because for years I've been playing them Barry White and...
We once had a badger run over outside the house.
You had him run over?
No,
What
no,
kind
no.
of...
No.
Yeah.
There was a badger.
What kind of butler have you got?
A badger
Have him run over for me.
We shall sit on a throne and watch this.
You're like the godfather of the vermin world.
A badger was run over outside the house, and my parents were staying, and this badger obviously had to be killed, put down, to put it out of its pain. And all my father could find was a big stick. So he went outside and he had to hit the badger repeatedly with this big stick. And this is remembered by my son, because it was explained to him like this, as the time Grandad made the badger better with the stick.
Are you sure that's actually what happened?
At the point the badger has been run over, and then this old guy comes up and tries to finish it off with a
horrible.
stick.
It freaks my dad out, actually, thinking about it. It's horrible.
Your dad gets badger flashbacks.
Just big black and white and white and black and white and then red! Black, white, red all over.
Turn off Wind in the Willows! Turn off Wind in the Willows!
Now, we play a round called Mock Out with your Cock Out. This game involves Ellis and Gary, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launch the wheel of news, and whoever chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is life stages. Who wants to come in on that? Ellis.
I've got a very young kid, and one of the things I noticed about fatherhood is that it's turning me into a dad, right? I've started doing this thing that when I'm excited, I've only ever seen, usually Welsh, usually very working-class dads do when they're excited, and I call it the clap and rub. OK, so if my mum, for instance, said, oh, I can't be bothered to cook tonight, why don't we have fish and chips? My dad, because he'll excite, will go, fish and chips? Fish and chips? and I have started doing that now, but what I'm doing, I'm like, what the hell is going on, right? Why am I clapping and rubbing my hands? But it's an amazing thing, the clap and rub, because it's so versatile. You can use it to display excitement about anything. So you're like, oh, I'm going out for a drink with my friend Dennis. Oh, the inquiry found me not guilty. Another thing with having a baby is I think it brought on a midlife crisis. One of the first things I did when she was born was I joined a boxing club, like a proper spit and sawdust South London boxing club. I don't want anyone to be frightened at home, because I'm not a hard bloke, because at my level, boxing is almost exclusively skipping. I am absolutely incredible at skipping now, but I don't know how this is going to help me in a one-on-one combat situation. I'm so be walking down to Marley way late at night, and a bloke will be like, "Oi, give me your phone and your wallet." I'll be like, "What, are you mugging me?" "Yeah, I'm mugging you." "Yeah, you mugging me?" "Yeah, I'm mugging you." "Yeah, yeah, yeah." "Well, try it."
Thank you very much, Ellis. OK, that leaves us with Gary. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is relationships.
The other day, a woman described me as a bit of a looker. Well, voyeur was the actual word that she used. I used to go out with a parachutist with IBS, but she shat on me from a great height. One time I nearly had a threesome with my girlfriend and my best friend, and the only thing that stopped it happening was they didn't invite me. My girlfriend said she wanted to try some new condoms with something special inside to boost her pleasure. I said, oh, what's that? She said, other men. Our fourth child was called Ivy, and that's because we ran out of names and started using Roman numerals. My last girlfriend was always trying to put me down, which is just one of the hazards of going out with a vet. I tried reading a book on premature ejaculation, but I couldn't get past the opening passage. This Christmas, I'm taking the whole family to Lapland, which is great, because normally those clubs don't let kids in. I always worry when a woman sees me naked for the first time that she's just going to scream and run out the park. My girlfriend and I love watching box sets. We got 3 episodes into Orange is the New Black before finding out it wasn't about what would happen if Trump replaced Obama.
Thank you very much. Well done. Point in that round. Gonna go to lady. Come on.
The subject is junk food. Russell.
Hello. Am I allowed to take this out? Or do I have to...
Go for it.
Slick. There was an amazing thing the other day. Apparently 15% of 2 to 11-year-olds in England are now obese, and the government's going to ban telly adverts of junk food till 9 o'clock so the kids can't watch. And you find yourself screaming at the telly, if your 2-year-old's obese, that isn't telly's fault, that's your fault. How can you possibly ban the adverts? Ban your fanny until you can look after what plops out of it. That is unbelievable. There's ways and means. My dad invented something, right, to make us eat our dinner. My sister would never eat it. She was like, no, it looks disgusting, Dad, no way to eat it, right? My dad invented something called the dinner witch. So, my sister was like, it looks disgusting. My dad would wink at me. I'd pop outside, ding-dong, at the doorbell. My dad would then look into my sister's 8-year-old face and go, oh, Kerry, who could that be? During dinner time, with your plate still so full. I don't suppose it could be the dinner witch. At which point, my sister would be like, slick.
Protest marches. Who's up first? Any come in and protest?
Yeah.
Russell.
OK. The only protest march I went on the Countryside Alliance March. I'm not pro or anti-fox hunting. I just quite like watching posh people get beaten up. I know it's wrong, but if you can find me a more glorious noise than then I'll happily listen. Come on, it's going to be fun, isn't it? And it's just so much fun baiting right-wing people. What do you think about fox hunting? I'll tell you what I think. If we didn't chase the fox, the entire bloody country would be overpopulated by foxes. Is that what you want, some hideous land of the foxes? Me, unable to leave my house and fear a fox wandering up to me, stabbing me in the gizzards? Is that what you desire? Looking across my lawn to see fox upon fox, prowling along my paddock, flicking the V's at me, walking hand in hand with asylum seekers? Is that what you want?
OK, the topic is air travel. Who wants to come in on that?
I'll do that.
Russell.
My favourite story about air travel, there was a bloke a little while ago who got put in prison for 3 days because he refused to stop kissing his boyfriend on a plane flight to South Africa. How magic's that? You can't help but picture him dressed entirely in latex, you know, surrounded by a sea of Burberry on an EasyJet flight. All right, lads, I'm going to make this tense for you. Ramon, let's do the bad thing. Do you want to stop doing that? I'm trying to read Nuts magazine. Whatever. Stop doing that. It's not natural. You're flying.
The subject is leisure. Who wants to come in on that? Russell.
I don't quite know how that signifies leisure. How has that old man got her? That's a joke. Anyways, we've got more disposable income now than ever, right? And this is quite an odd story, but my mum recently bought a hot tub. Now, I don't know if anyone else... It's quite exciting when your mum gets hot. She put it at the bottom of the garden, you get quite giddy, and then you're in it, and then you realise you're actually just outside having a bath with your mum. And it's a very... You've got no recollection of how to behave, right? And I've got a slightly lazy eye, so my mum's like, are you looking at my thighs? No. It gets freakier. My dad jumped in, my brother jumped in, my sister jumped in, and 2 of our family dogs leapt into the pool, right? So we're all on the edge, like really British, terrified, we're all naked. Dogs are just going around like that. Having the time of their life, right? And my mum just chose this moment to embarrass us, just looked up and went, hey, guess what? She wasn't doing a dog impression, that would have been weird. Right? She went, guess what everyone in this hot tub's got in common? I don't know, Mum, what? That's a dog hitting me, right? My mum looked up and went, everybody in this hot tub has sucked my tits.
OK, the first subject is street protesters. Can I have a volunteer talk about that?
I'll do that, Dara. Nation. So, I love street protesters, they're fantastic. The best I saw, there's a lovely old lady who, since the war in Iraq started, she stands outside the Bristol Hippodrome with a big sign that says, toot if you're anti-war. And if you drive past her, she does this. Now, I'm not sure, I've made her leap many times. I don't know if I'm anti-war or really pro-pensioner leaping. You know, when you kind of go, why am I doing this? Stop it! Do it! They're everywhere, they're brilliant. There's a bloke that I saw the other day, you know, one of those religious godbotherers, it's fantastic, just with a loud hailer, just pointing at people randomly, you're going to hell, you're going to hell, you're going to hell. Everyone was freaked out, 2 goths delighted, that's a separate issue, but... He pointed at me and I was freaked out, and then he did something wonderful. He pointed at this really strutting black guy. I don't know why the fact that he's black made it cooler, but it really did, right? Pointed at it, went, you're going to hell. Without missing a beat, this bloke just went, no, mate, HMV. And he just sat there going, oh.
Well done, Russell Howard. The next topic is the body beautiful. Who wants to come in on that?
We come in all shapes and sizes, don't we? Right. Good example, my mum has recently joined an under 5 foot club, you know. I'm not lying, you haven't seen a prettier sight until you've seen a load of tiny ladies sat around a table, their feet barely touching the floor. Sat there, because they're all under 5 foot, convinced they've got the same things in common. They haven't, right? The only thing they've got in common, when you hoover near them, they don't have to lift their legs. That's pretty much it, right? And there's a really amazing old lady there called Sue, who's about 80, and she's got a prosthetic hand. Now, we got chatting, right, and when she first went to school, the state of prosthetics was so poor, she actually went to school with a full-size man hand. As if your first day at school isn't terrifying enough. We're going to get bullied. There's your hand. You'll grow into... What do you mean I'll grow into it? I'm a little girl, I'm not Gordon Banks. What's that?
There's Russell Howard. Men's health is the next top, as represented by the knee. The window on the man's soul, the knee.
Well, we've all been there, let's be honest. Jesus. And it's got quite a nice pant ferret there, which is a bit of hair. Never mind. Hey, we all call it our pan ferret, don't we, children? Men's health, basically, it's quite an embarrassing story. Because it's terrifying when you go to the doctors, and you're so scared. I turn into a 6-year-old boy. I'm totally unable to explain what's wrong with me. I'm like, doctors like that, what's wrong with you? Who did this to you? Dragons. And you're sat there, terrified. 3 times in my life, I've been convinced I've got testicular cancer. Every single time, it's been an ingrowing hair. It's, yeah, funny. It's getting to the stage. I need something terminal just to stop me looking like a massive pervert. You know, there's no way of getting comfy when you're having your balls checked, because the doctor's like, obviously my balls aren't that big. If you sat there go, well, you do appear to have a problem, Mr. Howard. You appear to have camel's gonads. But you don't know where to put your hands, you know? You can't sort of do that or anything. I toyed with the idea of doing that firmly. I wish I'd been courageous enough just to go... But I didn't. I sat there like a timid T-Rex as my penis gently shrunk. And it's horrible, because the only good thing about going to the doctors is the ladies' magazines. You know, it's always the same in it. I found love in Falaraki. The most orange woman you've ever seen. Like Morph in a frock, clinging on to some terrified waiter. He gives me love 24/7. Cock your own fish fingers, Darren. He's a keeper. You're literally flicking through. When you get to the middle, that's when it gets properly ridiculous. There's always some woman staring at that. There's a ghost in my womb. I was walking downstairs. It flew out me vulva. It were Henry VIII. That's the only good thing about going to the doctors. Thank you very much for your time.
The subject is national identity. Who wants to come forward? Russell.
Thank you. We're told to worry about national identity all the time. Like, Gordon Brown seems to be obsessed with British values. Have you noticed that? Kind of preaching British values. What are British values? Ultimately, we're all embarrassed and we laugh at stuff we shouldn't. That's pretty much it, isn't it? It's that forbidden giggle. You know when you're not allowed to laugh, but all you can think about doing is laughing. It's like when you see an old lady get hit by a frisbee. You know it's wrong. You know? The last time I saw that flag, it was a football game. England were playing Croatia, right? In Croatia, there was a bloke holding up the flag, right? Into which he'd sung the words, "Go home, asylum seekers!" And you're like, how middle-class a hooligan are you? You're into bigotry and embroidery.
Good man, well done, Russell. First topic is transport. Russell's straight in.
Hello. I had a car crash the other day. It was horrific. I hit this lady. She was in a car. She wasn't dressed as a bollard. It was so bad because I hit her, and then I sort of walked out to say sorry. And how unlucky is this? She was staring at me with real fear. For some reason that morning, I decided to wear a Grand Theft Auto T-shirt. Now, there's no way you can make that worse unless you've got a beer in one hand and go, not again. I've really got to buy a steering wheel.
Subject is the media. Who wants to come into that? Russell.
I'll do that. I'd see, you know, the way I like getting the news is Radio 5 Live. It's fantastic, 'cause it's just news and nutters, isn't it? They'll read out, like, that was the Pope's view on abortion, and then, hello, Felicity Puddleduck here, livid and ill-informed. I'd just like to say those harlots should give birth to their children aged 2 that charge you to national service. I'm off to bake a cake. And sat there listening, then the next night, David, are you out of your mind? Cloning? Think it through. 2 versions of me. Want to go out and commit a crime? Who gets blamed for it? Me! I'm doing a 20 string. He's banging my wife. Where's the justice? And you sat there listening to these nutters, and then the most ridiculous story. A man in Bristol's found the face of Jesus on a crisp. And suddenly, I couldn't believe how you put up my frazzles. There he was.
Russell Howard. The subject is charity. Who wants to come into that? Russell.
It's, cheer if anyone's ever given clothes to Oxfam. Fair enough. You whooped then. Woo, do we win a prize? No. It's a really odd feeling because you feel quite proud of yourself. Just where am I going? I'm off to save Africa. That's right. And you wander in, you just plop down your clothes. Always some lovely lady, bung it anywhere. And there's a tiny part of you that gets really annoyed. You almost want to go, right! Well, we'll do that again, shall we? And this time you're going to act like you give a shit. It sounds bad, but there's a tiny part of you that wants to go, Sire, he brings goods. The chosen one has arrived. As you fling pants at orphans. Yippee, hurrah, will you ever be back in time, you needy tinkers? Banana Grams.
Russell Howard. The first subject is homelessness. Who wants to come into that? Russ.
I had a really great incident with the homeless bloke the other day. That sounds fairly dodgy. It was really, it's weirdly uplifting. So I gave him £1 and I was kind of walking away and he went, "Oi, mate, I've got a magic dog." Now that is a sentence that buys you half an hour with me, right? And it had sick all down him, this dog, right? And the homeless bloke had sick down him as well. And I was like, what happened? And he went, "Oh, we was asleep in a skip and some bloke chucked up on us. It's the most depressing thing you've ever heard." And he just looked at me and went, "No, it was amazing." Like, really? Why is that? And apparently what he did, still covered in sick, he stood up in that skip and just went, "Ah!" So this bloke was so drunk he thought his vomit had come alive. That man will never, ever drink again. Beer, Dave, it comes alive! It comes alive! Lovely moment.
The subject is the West Country.
I'll say this.
Who? Russell.
How can you not love the West Country? I've genuinely seen graffiti in Bristol during the last Tory campaign. Do you remember, are you thinking what we're thinking? Somebody had written underneath it, is it, do I like what's-its? It's phenomenal. It's wonderful, isn't it? I used to live there. I've moved away from Bristol because I was near a dogging site, which is just a bit odd, right? And, all right, I wasn't into it. I was just near a dogging site, right? And I was talking to my friend. I was like, Jane, why do they do dogging near the house, right? And she looked and went, apparently you got really great views of the Clifton Suspension Bridge. And you're like, well, you've got faith in humanity, haven't you? Just the idea that I tell you what, it's only when you're doing the nasty in a cortina that you can truly appreciate the work of Isambard King de Brunei. That, my friend, is craftsmanship. Shall we? No. Wonderful.
Thank you very much, Russell. The next topic is the media. Who wants to come in? Russell.
I'll do that. I think the papers are making this country a worse place to live. Don't you feel like that? Just the unremitting horror of the Daily Express. They must well just get rid of news and just have every day, don't go outside! It's full of queers, blacks and crime! Oh, if only Diana was here! And just sort of sat there going, come on. But they're all the same, you know? They're all the same. The Daily Mail every day. Asbo's Muslim speak, camera, Asbo's Muslim speak. The Sun, are you a pedo? Are you a pedo? Have a bang on her tit 16 today. Are you a pedo? You know? The Independent, you try and read it, it's like it's grabbing you by the throat. Are you recycling? Are you? You just killed a polar bear! You! All the while, the Guardian's in the corner fanning itself with a wall chart. You silly little things. Tell 'em, Telegraph. Cricket! Cricket! Too much.
British society.
Thanks. There's a lot of idiots about, aren't there? I was in a sauna the other day with some men, which, you know, let's forget about that part of the story, but there was this bloke who was just sat there going, I tell you what, this country's gone to the dogs. 5 years' time, guarantee it, this country, Sharia law. Everywhere you look, Sharia law. And his mate went, yeah, but the thing is, right, under that law, you can have 4 wives. And this bloke suddenly went, really? And you're like, make your mind up, mate. You Sid James or Enoch Powell. They're everywhere. Titties, ha-ha. He went mental. 4 wives, imagine the fun I'd have. 1 for every day of the week. It's wonderful when you see bigotry slapped, isn't it? I was on a train the other day. There was a bloke sat here, let's call him a dick, who was sat opposite a man of foreign persuasion, just go, why don't you go home, mate? Why don't you go home? And this hero looked back at this bloke and went, I am. That's why I'm on the train.
Next topic is drugs. Who wants to come in on that? Russell.
Good laugh, mate. I get offered drugs loads. I was at Glastonbury this year, right? And this bloke came up to me. He was like, all right, mate, do you want some shrooms? And you're quite tempted, because everyone's like, it was amazing, man. Had a chat with the tree. Good guy. He was called Nathan. You'd love him. We could play racquetball Thursday week. What a chap. But you know, if you took mushrooms, you'd be the one who would have the story that would end up on the front page of the papers. Do you know what I mean? I killed a lollipop lady. She wouldn't let me lick it and I killed her. So in the end, right, it's really embarrassing. I had 3 packs of Starburst just shoving in front of my tummy, like, nom, 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 nom. I was like, my guts totally gave way, and this lovely old lady came up to me and was like, are you all right? Now, you've never known being truly pathetic until you've looked into the eyes of a kind stranger and gone, I've eaten too many sweets.
And the topic is relationships. Who wants to come in on that? Russell.
Britain, I have sexual advice for you. That's right. When I was 18, I used food in the bedroom. Now, don't ever do it. It didn't go well, right? Rather than... I used Rolo yoghurt. And rather than tell... Yeah, exactly, right? Rather than tell my then-girlfriend what I had planned, I pretty much waited for her like some hideous yoghurt goblin, right? Now, I doubt there's anything more terrifying than coming home to find me naked, holding yoghurt, going, yeah, right? And I panicked, and rather than putting a little bit on, I pretty much basted her, right? By the time I'd finished, she looked a bit like Morph. You're sat there. I created an angry meal. You don't know where to start licking. You don't want to lick randomly, then she looks like she's got an illness. So, I did foot up to knee. That took me an hour. And hours, I was just... She looked like an angry gingerbread lady who'd had her leg dipped in Tipp-Ex, right? It didn't end there. I was like, I can't help you. The door opened, one of my dogs ran in and started licking the other leg. Never use food in the bedroom.
Thank you very much, Russell Howard. OK, the topic is human behaviour.
Some things you can't help doing. Do you find this? Like, if you get a cold can of Diet Coke, it's not enough for you to go, that is freezing. You have to find somebody you love and put it on their face. You can't... You don't do that with any other food. This soup's boiling in your eyes, but for some reason you become a fizzy torture. All right, Mum, Fanta to the knee! We're all fairly peculiar. Sometimes you think weird thoughts. I was in Tesco the other day. I was offered a bag for life, and I found myself going, I can't commit to that. You know? I don't know what bags are going to be like in the future. I feel like a tool if I got a plastic one in 2024. People go, I've got a new bag. It packs itself and speaks Spanish. Piece of shit. What can you do? I can suffocate a child. That's all you're good for. He can speak Spanish. I can hurt your hands on long journeys.
Topic is families.
Well, families are quite peculiar. Mine are wonderful. I went to Brighton the other day, and my uncle was like, watch out, it's full of gays, and they'll get you. They'll get me. They're gays, they're not ninjas. Not gonna... I'm so glad that I was raised by lunatics. I remember one of the weirdest stories I had happen to me when I was little. I was 8 years old. I was in Lanzarote. I just put some rubbish in a bin. I came around a corner and I was confronted by 2 werewolves, right? Turned out it wasn't werewolves, it was my mum and dad. Ah, ha, ha, isn't it hilarious? Not really, I've shat myself, right? But I've only recently found out they did not buy the wolf masks in Lanzarote. They bought them in England, which is beautiful and chilling at the same time. Look what I've got, David. Couple of wolf masks. You know, they're like wolves, don't you? Captain Shitterbrick next door. Well, let's put them on now, scare him. Can I hold you just there, David? Can I wait until we're in a foreign country, get him really out of his comfort zone, and then properly shit him out? Families.
Well done, Russell. The next topic is education. Who wants to come in on that? Russell.
I remember school being fun. I think my favourite moment ever in life, pretty much. There was a girl in our school called Lydia. She was trying to make her calculator work. She was repeatedly knocking it against a desk. And after about an hour, our teacher went, Lydia! How would you like it if I banged you against the desk? It's the greatest day of school. But now it's more sinister, isn't it? Like, they're now talking about teaching 5-year-olds sex education. Of course, people are very angry. It's disgusting! It's too much! Like, calm down. Not going to teach them technique. Right, this is how I like to do it, kids. That's right. Kids aren't going to run home, put dolls around a toy car and go, look, Mum, they're dogging, they're dogging. It's going to be some poor teacher trying to talk to 5-year-olds about love. Can you imagine a harder job? Hello, children. I'm here to teach you about love. Good luck with that, mate. I'm off to lick that tree.
Thank you very much, Russell. The subject, Russell, is etiquette.
It's like ladies with pointy breasts carrying books in a weird way. I'm really socially awkward. I met Jonathan Ross the other day, got really excited. I was having a wee backstage at a gig, and he went, you're thingamajig, aren't you? And for some reason I went, I can be whoever you want me to be. Now, in a toilet, that is just a come on, you know? And with women, it's even worse. I was on a train the other day, and this lady went, excuse me, can you look after my bags whilst I go to the toilet? Now, in that situation, all you've got to do is go, yes. But for some reason, I panicked and went, you're not allowed to go, and it's in the station. So she sits down, going, fair enough, didn't realise you were the poo goblin. Horrible moment. The train wouldn't move. Eventually it did. I swear she looked at me and went, can I go now?
Thank you very much, Russell. The next topic is men's health. Who wants to come in on that? Russell.
I went to the doctors recently with anal issues. I thought I had cancer, not I can't put my CDs in order. But the terrifying moments, right? So scary, because in your head, I'm going to die. And I went there and I took down my trousers. Obviously, we had a chat first, and it just... I'm not very well. You see that, mate? This is a chip shop. You've never done it slower in your life. I was just peeling them down. I got them down to about there. Just heard his booming voice go, "In the other room." You have a decision to make there. Do you pull them up or do you waddle with pride, right? You waddle, that's what you do. When you waddle, you can't help but giggle. The last thing you need is to be giggling is before a man's going to pop his finger in your Richard, because now you're a wiggling target, right? I'll be honest, when the finger goes in, you're not laughing anymore! You're like a red arrow! And that's the moment they chat. How you doing? Fine. When you draw the curtains, we've gathered quite a crowd. Look at that, it's Atrium Steps and he's getting violated. I'm not alone!
The next topic is the royal family.
Prince Harry's pretty spectacular, isn't he? He's wonderful. The Sun really can't make their mind up, because one minute the Sun, he's a war hero, next minute, racist. Make your mind up. We don't mind him killing foreigners, but don't call them names. That appears to be the way that he operates, you know? But there's something wonderful about Prince Harry. He must have a weekly show called These Are the Things I've Done. And we'd watch it, wouldn't we? Yeah, a couple of years ago, man, I shaved my pubes, put it on a swan, big wow. Next week, I'm going to light my farts and fondle a gibbon. Come on over! We love him because he's ferociously stupid. Think about it. He had 100 grand spent on his education, the finest education money could buy. He went to Eton, he got 2 A-levels. One's an E in geography, one's a B in art. Can you imagine that? Your dad has spent 100 grand on your education? I've done a drawing and I sort of know what a hill is. You know?
Next subject is rage.
No wonder that man's cross. He's stuck in a shuttlecock. Everyone's angry, though. I know kids did really well in their A-levels. How do we respond? A-levels are getting easier. In my day, you had to do 50 questions in a minute. You got one wrong, they killed your dad. You know? All you hear is, this country's gone to the dogs. I'm fed up with this country. It's the worst country in the world. It's enough to drive you mad. Yeah, I bet there's some bloke in some war-torn African village as we speak, just weeping. Why are you crying, mate? Is it because you've got no food, no money, no home? It is none of those things. Some people in England only have their willy bins collected once a fortnight. Is there no God?
The next topic is the consumer society.
It's all a bit much, isn't it? I went into a shop the other day that said, why not try a guilt-free wrap? You're like, don't make sandwiches evil. Sandwiches are lovely. The bacon sandwich, one of the loveliest things in the world. What is a bacon sandwich? Essentially, it's bread giving a dead pig a cuddle. It's a lovely thing. I love you, Mr. Pig. Why do the Jews hate me? It's lovely. I was really down about it, and then I saw this wonderful thing that I think could only happen in the West Country. The bloke behind the counter in this shop yawned. The bloke in front of him, who did not know him, popped his finger in his mouth and went, ooh, yawn rape, and I nearly died. I had never seen a yawn rape, and now you've learned about it, you can't not do it. You'll be on a bus, you'll see an yawn rape, you can't help it. Did the bloke behind the counter headbutt him? No, he didn't. The bloke behind the counter giggled and went, it's a good job I didn't fart, wasn't it? And you're sat there going, well, the world is a better place.
Thank you very much, Russell. That's fitness.
Could have been camel toes. Now, I was in the gym the other day. I was in a locker room, and a 5-year-old boy ran in and jumped into a locker. Now, sometimes you know you're just going to have an incident, right? You could hear him in there giggling, like, and you knew what he was going to do. He was going to jump out and scare his mates, because his mates appeared seconds later, like, where's Stephen gone? Where's Stephen? He was there a minute ago. This is most irregular. And he waited, not for his mates, but for 3 huge naked men. It was fantastic. They were kind of walking past, and this little kid leapt at those men like a cat with rabies. It was incredible, right? Just from nowhere, the noise they made, I've never heard a noise like it. They sounded like a tugboat getting molested. Like, oh. long-suffering dad is in the showers, obviously heard this and went, that'll be my bloody boy! Ran back, confronted this glowing hellbeast and went, Stephen, what have I told you about acting up in public? And this little kid cut his dad down with one very simple sentence. Dad, your willy's moving? You're just there going, oh, the world is a better place.
The subject is young people.
Funky young people. You know, it's depressing being hit. I saw this the other day, it nearly killed me. It's a kid who was about 8 years old in a cafe with his mum. He went, here, Mum, doesn't matter how many of these you eat. He was eating a fun-sized Mars bar. Doesn't matter how many of these you eat, it never leads to fun. How depressing is that? It's not a happy meal. Life is suffering, Russell. Life is suffering. It shouldn't be like that when you're 8. When you're 8, you should be excited about the world. Can you remember the first time you saw a rainbow? Can you remember the giddy delirium in your mind? You're like, Dad, there's colours in the sky. I like the sky. I like colours. The two are combined. My mind is literally blown. I need answers, big man. I need answers. Well, that sun is called a rainbow. Oh, my God, it has a name. It has a name. This day can get no better. There's a pot of gold at the end of it. And it's guarded by a tiny leprechaun. Pull over, Dad. Pull over right now. Has anyone ever chased a rainbow? I did. You never forget it. I bet you didn't do this. Me and my little brother took a knife just in case the leprechaun acted up, right?
Thank you very much. That's up. What has the Tory-controlled council in Barnet announced recently?
Oh, yes. Basically, that Barnet Council have said that they want to try and streamline their services like a budget airline. And you think, well, that's a stupid idea, isn't it? Because let's face it, budget airlines most people regard as crap. You can basically go on Ryanair now, you're supposed to have to pay £1, aren't you, for the toilet. And you're thinking often you've only spent £1 for the actual flight itself. You'll be there having a dump thinking, this better be a good one. I could have got a return ticket for this.
You've sort of been weighing it up, weren't you? Going, is this one worth £1? To be honest, this feels like it's going to do 20 quid's worth of damage. Let's go. The Tories, for being a market party, have never understood the market. So they think if something's successful and sells well, people love it. You know, they tolerate things. You know, I shit 3 times a day. I don't love it.
And we all have it. You know that's too many. That's too often.
I've been to Barnet. Of all the places, like, if you're going to do a no-frills government, at least do it somewhere that had frills in the first place. I mean, taking frills out of Barnet is like taking the charisma out of Milton Keynes.
I agree. I grew up in Barnet.
Council has frills, did he?
No.
I mean, street cleaning in Glasgow involves sprinkling gravy granules in front of a homeless guy on a leash.
Of all weeks, this week where there's been a bank holiday in England would be a very good week, because I would imagine up and down the streets of England there have been millions and millions of bins left out for 24 hours because people forgot, because it was a bank holiday, that the bins would be collected a day later. I know if you drove to any street at night, there are loads of bins out that people forgot, because we're stupid, and frankly, we pay money so that you'll do it, so that I don't have to worry about that, and the bin fairies will come along and make the rubbish go away.
Can I check something? Are you only supposed to put your bins out, what, on a certain day or something?
Yeah, that is the way it works. You're not supposed to leave the bins out and after every meal walk out with a plate and just scoop them into the plate.
Well, there you go, that's what a maverick I am. I'm having 3 shits a day and I'm putting my bins out whenever I want. Nobody stop me.
And have you noticed that, like, people in your street are getting more and more hostile with you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was my appearances on this.
You're probably quite charmed by that. But the fact that you just pile up household effluence.
What if the time that I'm supposed to put my bin out, I'm having one of my 3 long shits?
Where are you? It's not like a mail train where, like, you have to hold your bin out at exactly the right moment.
There's nothing in there that's of any use to anybody.
It's not the utility of your rubbish.
You two, simmer down. Look at this.
Every night after we record this show, I have to go and do the fucking bins, right? I go home. Another one you have to do to me. I have to separate everything I've used into every component part. Hounslow Council have given me... It's just driving me off the wall, right? Do you know how bad it is? They give me a bag. Come here. They give me a bag. Every 2 weeks, I have to fill a bag with garden waste. I have to go to parks and collect leaves and put it in the bag.
There's no reason you shouldn't put your bins out whatever day you like, because you're enormous. If I was you, I'd just pour everything out the top floor window, and when someone turned up to complain, I'd say, yeah, what about it? I look like I was created in a science accident.
OK. Speaking of China, what's going on here?
It's a little bit of fun.
It is exactly what you think it is. It is a panda on a rocking chair eating crisps.
Are they really sad because they haven't got a 50p to put in the machine?
It's not actually a panda, is it? It's some bloke who's got pissed on a stag night.
And the other two? Or is that the green one?
The green one's the reason why pandas are endangered. Because that's a male panda sitting on it, but he was given the option of the two panda bitches. He went, no, I'm going to nail this green one.
Because these are pandas from the region of China that was affected by the earthquake. The zoo isn't getting any business at all at the moment because obviously it's not a priority for people. So in order to get some publicity, they've decided to make the pandas eat crisps. It was a brilliant idea.
Why are those pandas in a play park?
Well,
are they like bad teenage pandas that are spoiling the play park for the little baby pandas? Hey, what flavour are your crisps, man? Your mother! Your mother flavour! Where's Gary? Text him. Let's bash the swings, man.
Are they really sad because they haven't got...
That, as a first effort at whimsy, was great. It was really, really good.
I tried.
You did. I really think you tried with the whimsy. And then
it's just not there. It's just not in my soul. I just see those pandas shot.
Is this the bit that's going to go in?
Yeah. There's a bit that's going into the Christmas special.
There's also...
Happy Christmas, kids. I'd see those pandas shot.
My dad used to work for Qantas. He was cabin crew. And the best thing, my favourite thing I've ever heard, I think, about Christmas is that he was... So every second Christmas as a kid, my dad was away because he was flying. That was the way it worked with Qantas. And this one particular year, he told me that they were flying on Christmas night. And in the middle of the night, the captain, the pilot, called him up and said, listen, in about 5 minutes, I'm going to ask you to turn all the lights up because everyone was asleep. So he went, yeah, all right. He said, don't ask, just do it. So 5 minutes, my dad turned the lights up, everyone woke up, and the captain came on and said, ladies and gentlemen, sorry to wake you in the middle of the night, but we've had a special request on the radar. There's a special person flying around the world tonight who wants to come on board. So if all the kids are awake, he's coming down. And then the pilot just jiggled the joystick. And the plane went, and he went, he just landed. And then out of the cockpit came Santa and did the whole lap of the aeroplane, gave out presents to all the kids, and then went back into the cockpit. And then the captain said, now we have to give him a bit of a run-up, so I'm going to speed up a little bit. And he actually pushed forward on the engines, and all the kids just went
No wonder Qantas planes have got a big hole in them.
That would be an amazing way to hijack a plane, wouldn't it? Just take over the Santa. Yes, Christmas is over. I got 6 presents for you here.
Trying to bring some Christmas joy.
The next round is called Picture of the Week. I show the panel a topic and image and ask them to tell me what's happening. So, teams, who is this and why were they in the news this week?
Is he saying, in Greece, we play air bouzouki?
I think he's probably saying, that referendum, Alexander, that was a pointless answer.
I think he's saying, I know we're in a lot of debt, but at least can I just have some water?
people. Come on.
I think he might actually be saying the worst thing is that the Germans have made me stand in this top hat.
It looks a bit like Angela Merkel's playing the piano while he sings. Sing for me.
This is how you should earn back the money.
Yeah.
Sing it again.
It looks to me, he actually looks at me, and even though Angela Merkel is looking at him, he looks at me like he's just got there. And just like, I'll give that a few minutes.
That's all this Greek food I eat. or he's just going, sorry, can anyone pay for the cabbie? He's just waiting outside.
Hurry up, meter's running.
He'll explode a light if you don't pay him. Nice to see Angela Merkel letting her guard down, though, isn't it? Okay.
Come on, she's chilled out. She's dressed as a minion.
Very ironically, Angela Merkel dresses a minion. Yes, after almost 17 hours of talks in Brussels, a tenuous agreement between the EU and Greece has been reached. A long, all-night thing, all-night thing. The tensest moment, by the way, of the all-night thing is when they went, oh, my God, I'm exhausted. Could somebody get me a sugary drink? And said, yeah, but that's another 20% of the tax.
We'll never be free of this.
They were all-night talks, and what they kept referring to them in the papers as marathon talks, which really just hammers it home for the Greeks. That's a big cruel irony there.
Yeah,
exactly. Marathon talks, because the Battle of Marathon, the Greeks won.
They did. Well, it wasn't them, was it? It was two bits of... It was Athens versus Sparta, wasn't it?
It was... They were versus the Persians.
Oh, OK, they were versus the Persians.
Yeah, at the Battle of Marathon.
I'd be on that team. It's boring over here.
Really
Who's the kingmaker in parking in this country?
Is it NCP?
No, it's not NCP. Who's the one single individual who wields more power over parking in this country than anyone else?
Boris Johnson.
No. It is, according to Parking Review, it's Hugh Dennis.
Yeah. That's right.
This magazine, which was sent to me anonymously, Parking Review, features 10 separate photographs of Hugh Dennis on its pages at the moment.
Yeah, I did the National Parking Awards.
Who wins a National Parking Award?
They did Best Multi-Story. That was in there. Have you not done the National Parking Awards?
I've not done the National Parking Awards, and I didn't know that this was a bonus of it. I'm going to seek out the National Parking Awards.
So, sorry, when you say parking, do you mean, like, in a car, reversing into a slot? Yeah, is that your talk? Right, OK.
Yeah. They had awards, and Hugh handed them out.
I handed them out, yeah. Well, I gave them all tickets, to be honest. I
get a feeling Hugh's not enjoying this.
Shawty. Zip platter.
Next round is called Between the Lines and features Hugh and Russell. Would you make your way to the press pit, please? Russell delivers a speech in the guise of a leading figure on the world stage, while Hugh translates what they really mean. This week, Russell is David Cameron.
Of course I am. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to say that this coalition will be a partnership of equals.
White, no sugar, please, Nick.
I'm here to talk about real policies, not just popular slogans.
These aren't just policies. These are meticulously crafted, organic, deficit-cutting policy.
I'm afraid it's time for some unpleasant cuts.
There is no way I'm having another child.
The good news is we found oil just off the Falklands.
The bad news is it's drifted there from the Gulf of Mexico.
People say I'm just image, and you pulled that face over me. People say I'm just image and spin, but you can see statesmanship written all over my face. It's important to stress I'm very familiar with the language and culture of young people.
What's up?
People say I can't relate to hoodies, but at school, I was a real tearaway.
Yes, there was that time we spooned quints into matrons' loafers.
In fact, though I'm not proud to say it, I was once a gang member.
Yes, no one messed with the Eton choristers.
I stopped doing that. Having visited America recently, I must say I've never met anyone like Barack Obama before.
Well, I have, but normally they're wearing white gloves and serving me G&T.
Yes, the answer I was looking for was Gove announces exam changes. This is the news that Education Secretary Michael Gove has announced a new English baccalaureate certificate to replace GCSEs. From 2015, students will work towards a demanding 3-hour exam at the end of a 2-year course rather than the current combination of coursework, modular exams and multiple retakes.
He's even invented an exam that thicker kids won't be able to pronounce. It's the back of what? The back of what? The back. Oh, give me a shovel, I'll go down to mine.
I think the idea is if you're academic, then you get a baccalaureate, and otherwise they teach you practical skills like how to baccalaureate.
The Tories have assured us that under this system no child will be left behind, but how can we take Tory promises that no child will be left behind seriously when their leader's David Cameron?
What's the, do you know what the abbreviation is?
It's called
EBC.
EBAC.
It's called the EBAC.
EBAC, which is when Yorkshire people make payment over the internet.
I thought that was something from Star Wars, isn't that?
Yes, it was. Do you know who hated the EBACs?
I bet you can't do the impression.
Skywalker! Your EVACs will not qualify you to run the Empire.
There's been a lot of debate over, whether grades have been devalued, and I was discussing that recently with my nephew, Professor Timmy.
So, hang on, sorry, because it's one of these things that I genuinely am always perplexed by, coming from a different country as I have, with my spices and my silks. To your nation. And there's so many great things about it, except your exams, which are mad. And not that the education, by the way, is great. I'm not saying anything about the education people get here, it's fantastic. But the exams are mad.
There are people who, when confronted with an exam paper, just go to pieces completely and forget how to count, and I think it's very unfair that they are marking the papers.
There are people who just shouldn't be taking exams. My friend Carl was at sixth form college with a girl who got her A-level results, and when she pulled out the piece of paper, the 3 letters telling her what her future would be, she went, that spells none.
People make an awful lot about the pressure that kids are under, and I suppose they are, but speaking as an ex-teacher, that when it comes to exam time, there's far worse pressure on the teachers, because you have to spend sometimes 4 or 5 hours in those halls just walking up and down, and it's a recipe for insanity. I had no choice when I was teaching but to invent a game called Compile. It was just to see who could walk up and down the aisle the campest. We started off just sort of slightly mincing. Honestly, by the end of it, I was walking down a full aisle of children like this. And I knew it was time for me to leave teaching when I got to the end of one aisle, genuinely. During an actual GCSE, a kid looked up at me and went...
So were you essentially voguing your way?
I'm not exaggerating. By the end of it, I was like...
The thing is, they want to make the exams harder, don't they? But surely they're hard enough already if your teacher is walking up and down, camping it up.
Oh, no, I'm still qualified, technically. We'll have to cut this bit out.
Really? Is that your safety net?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Do you think anybody, having seen you in In-Betweeners, anybody is ever going to
Well, you've always got to trade.
I problem with it. I did a gig at the University of Central England, which is in Birmingham. That's what they're trying to hide from you. And as an opening line, I said, UCE! So called because that's a grade it takes to get in. But I had to explain it to them.
I'll tell you what, I was in an exam when I was at school. My mate, at the back of the hall went... we were all waiting to leave. Someone at the back of the hall went... Bow. And Mr Mearden, the exam invigilator, went... and then someone else went... Bow. And then... Bow. From different parts of the hall, and it led to my favourite sentence I've ever heard come out of an adult's mouth, which was, all right, no one leaves until the meowing stops.
Unlikely challop lines.
No, should have gone to Specsavers.
My name's Ed. What's it short for? Dunno, it's just always been like that.
You had me at hello, which is why most of my friends think I'm a bit of a slag.
Your father must have been a thief, and I'm going to catch him if it's the last thing I do. Your father's got a present. It's a loyalty card. Every 10 shags, I buy you a present.
Hey, are you a parking ticket? Because I picked you up on the street and now I can't afford to pay you.
Love is blind, and so am I. Now let me feel your face so I know you're not a munter. I'd say my approach to sex is a lot like the government's approach to Brexit. I go in hard and then pull out when I realise I have no idea what I'm doing.
Oh, so when you sit there seductively licking your lips, that's sexy. But when I do it, I'm weird and should get off your lips.
You look like $1 million. Less impressive than you would have done 10 years ago.
I like my men like I like women.
Hey, girl, you must be tired, because you look real tired. Get some rest, lady.
Well, I hope you're nothing like my ex-girlfriend. She was so demanding. Always asked me to text her when I got in. That's how small my penis is.
So do you come here often? To this STD clinic?
If I could rearrange the alphabet, I'd put you and I together, which is why I was fired from my job as an English teacher.
Roses are red, violets are red, you are red, the sky is red, I'm bleeding in the eyes.
You've got an arse that just won't quit, despite calling an election and losing a majority.
You don't look like you did through the binoculars. If I said you had a nice body, would you hold it against me? While I cry on your shoulder, I'm so lonely, God, I'm so lonely.
On a first date, I always like to go Dutch. I don't mean I split the bill, but I'll do some really kinky stuff in clogs.
I like my women like I like my coffee. Always getting my name wrong.
If you were on an Indian menu, you would have 3 chilies next to you, because you make me shit myself.
Now we play a round called Mock Quinn Medicine Woman. This game involves Alan, Adam, Andy and Russell. So if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This is where we test our performers' stand-up skills. We spin our news generator, it settles on a topic, and anyone can volunteer jokes about the chosen subject. The winners are the people I judge who have produced the funniest stuff. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is religion. Who wants to come in on that? Adam Hills.
Like this. Why can you make fun of certain religions? Why can you use certain religions to promote your products and not other? Why can you use Buddha to promote products? You go to any city in the world, you will find a Buddha bar that serves Karma cocktails. You will find a chocolate Buddha restaurant with carvings of Buddha down the wall. If you go to a supermarket right now, I'm sure you'll find a brand of margarine called I Can't Believe It's Not Buddha. Why can you do that with Buddha and no other religious leader? You know why? Because there's no such thing as a Buddhist extremist. What are they going to do? Turn up at your restaurant? Yeah, if you keep calling it that, oh, I've got no choice but to wish you good karma. Shit. You could not do that with any other religious icon. You couldn't have a gym only open on Sunday mornings called Jehovah's Fitness.
Well done, Alan Hill. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is transport. Who wants to come in on that? Andy Parsons.
We've now got ads telling us from the government how to use a level crossing. Now, you'd have thought it was fairly obvious, but apparently the problem is sometimes the barrier goes across the road, but it doesn't go all the way to the other side. And people think, oh, well, it's gone down on my side, but I mean, I can go around the outside, and I can go across. And you're thinking, do we need to spend thousands of government pounds telling people how to use a level crossing? Surely it's just a new form of natural selection.
Thank you very much, Andy. OK, that leaves us with Alan and Russell. Let's spin the wheel. The next topic is fashion. Who wants to come in? Alan.
Yeah, I'm pretty cool. I'm at a funny age. It's hard to get clothes right, I think. Somebody explained to me that there's a theory that the day you pick something up and think, is this too young for me, that is the day that some clothing has got too young for you. And I'm only in my early 30s, but I've had it happen already. I picked something up the other day, I thought, is this too young for me? And it was. It was some of those trainers with wheels on the heels. I think clothes matter. My mind was changed on this last December. I saw a big issue seller in the street dressed as Santa. Yeah, it's fine for us, for adults, but it was daylight, there was children in the street, and I could see one little boy looking at the big issue seller and then looking at his mum as if to say, it's not looking good for my PlayStation 3 this year.
Thank you very much, Alan. OK, Russell, let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. The subject, Russell, is etiquette.
It's like ladies with pointy breasts carrying books in a weird way. I'm really socially awkward. I met Jonathan Ross the other day, got really excited. I was having a wee backstage at a gig, and he went, "You're thingamajig, aren't you?" And for some reason I went, "I can be whoever you want me to be." Now, in a toilet, that is just a come on, you know? And with women, it's even worse. I was on a train the other day, and this lady went, "Excuse me, can you look after my bags whilst I go to the toilet?" Now, in that situation, all you've got to do is go, "Yes." But for some reason, I panicked and went, "You're not allowed to go when it's in the station." And then they go... So she sits down, going, "Fair enough, didn't realise you were the poo goblin." Horrible moment. The train wouldn't move. Eventually it did. I swear she looked at me and went, "Can I go now?"
Thank you very much, Russell. And in that round, the points go to Adam and Alan. This is the news that IP's review body has proposed a rise in MPs' pay to around £74,000 a year, an increase of 9% on their current salary of around £66,000. Should they get a pay rise?
No.
Why?
Well, because it's easy for me to score points with the audience by saying no.
OK.
£8 grand, hardly enough to put a secret love child through private school.
But it's not like football, is it? In football, you have to stop other countries nicking your best players. It's not like other governments are trying to nick our politicians, is it? Like Cameron's going to be out like, I've said no to Spain, they can't have Gove. Do you know what I mean? They're trying to buy him.
I feel quite sorry for MPs because people all think that all MPs are money-grabbing bastards. But they're not all money-grabbing.
Ed Miliband has said that he's going to stop any Labour MPs having a second job by the next election. But, of course, by then, a lot of them won't have a first job, will they?
They get 15 quid a day food allowance for lunch.
Yes, they do. And
that's like free Subway sandwiches. That's free footlongs. That's 36-inch of sandwich. That is too much for anyone. You can wear it as a belt.
George Osborne looks like he could take 36 inches.
I don't think the voucher is exclusively for Subway.
That's what I've been told.
Yeah. So it's just like, oh, this is only redeemable at the Parliament Subway. And the queue is really long. This is one Subway guy making...
It's the travel stuff, right? They're being restricted on taxis. They're not going to be allowed to use taxis anymore. Not going to be allowed to use taxis. Where are Tory MPs going to get their ideas if they're not allowed to take taxis?
David Cameron is so basically like a taxi driver. I'm surprised he doesn't stand with his back to the dispatch box going, I'll tell you the country's problem. It's immigration. That's the problem with this country.
They never have proper second jobs, do they? It's always like a posh sort of business role. It's never just like... Because I had a second... I used to work in a market and in a pub. Do you know what I mean? Like, my dad used to be a carpet fitter and on the dole. Do you know what I mean? They've always got posh...
Now we come to scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, I'll read out this week's topics, and then we'll see what our panellists can come up with. OK, here we go. The first subject is rejected questions from this year's exams.
If sine A over A equals sine B over B equals sine C over C, what are the chances that you're ever going to use this in your sodding adult life?
According to Germany, how much is Greece worth? 1 mark.
Exam board of Zaragoza. Paint Jesus.
Jonathan is a Nigerian prince. What are your credit card details?
3 girls in this hall are pregnant. Who's the daddy?
Compare the following. A, the market. B, the meerkat.
Heat the crystals until they produce a vapour. Inhale. The exam seems easier now, doesn't it?
Without swearing, describe Peter Andre.
Mental arithmetic. Count up the voices in your head.
Using the paper provided, roll a joint and pass it round.
Does this look infected?
In the recent Olympics, Great Britain won 3 times as many gold medals as Australia. That's not a question, just a statement.
One Direction are incredibly popular. Explain.
Sport. How do you spell Akabusi? Is it A-K-B-U-C? Yes or no?
If Steve eats 2 apples, an orange and a banana, why is he such a fat fucker?
Hello and welcome to Mock the Week. I'm Dara O'Brien. Joining me this week are Andy Parsons, Joe Caulfield and Greg Davis, Chris Addison, Hugh Dennis and Gary Delaney.
We start with a round called If This Is the Answer, What is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Gary, which category would you like?
Media, please, Dara.
OK, your category is media. The answer is 600 metres. What is the question?
Is it, if Calvin Mackenzie was to do a bungee jump from a height of 500 metres, what length rope should he be given?
Is it, in fact, what head start would I need if I was competing against Usain Bolt in the 100 metres?
Is it simpler than that? Is it how big are some trees, Dara?
No trees are 600 metres.
Simpler.
Is it how far is the Queen's bed from her ensuite bathroom?
How far away can Boris Johnson smell of custard cream?
Is it, in fact, how far can the Proclaimers walk now?
Is it at what distance is Theresa May attractive?
None of the rest of us could do that, but good to have you on board.
Is it when kicking Chris Brown in the bollocks, exactly how long a run-up should you take?
Is it proportionally, if a clown's nose was the size of Dara's head, how long would his shoes be?
Is it how long was the longest runner bean ever grown at the Fukushima nuclear plant?
Is it, in fact, how long would your penis be if all the products in the spam emails worked?
Is it what is the delivery radius of a relatively unambitious pizza company?
Sorry, we'll move towards the correct answer, please.
Is it the distance that Prince Philip sprinted to get hold of a copy of the French magazine Clothing? Am I close?
You can be closer.
Is it, in fact, the distance that they were taking shots of Kate topless?
That is absolutely right. Thank you very, very much, Andy Parker. Yes, the question I was looking for was, from what approximate distance did a photographer take pictures of the Duchess of Cambridge sunbathing topless? This is the news that the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge have taken legal action against French magazine Closer, which has printed topless photographs of Kate. It's called, I don't know, the French call it Closer for some reason. We have a French woman working the show, and I'm going, sure, it's Closet. She goes, no, Closer. A French court has blocked future publication of the pictures in France, but they've already been published in Italy and Ireland.
There's loads of royals who've been snapped naked, haven't they? Obviously Harry, you know, now Kate, then we had Andrew before that, Charles before that, Countess of Wessex. I mean, there have been, in fact, so many of them, I think they should persuade a few more of them to do it, and then they could release a charity calendar.
The thing is, isn't it? It is terrible, it's unjustifiable, it's immoral, but I quite want to see the pictures.
Are you saying you haven't seen them yet?
I haven't. I've seen fuzzy versions of them on the...
I think they're all fuzzy. Pictures were taken from the Hubble telescope.
From the Hubble telescope.
What I found intriguing was I think, I don't know what everyone was, I was certainly waiting for the next time she appeared in public to see if she would acknowledge what had happened to the cameras. And she didn't. She just did the same smile that she always does. Because if someone had photographed my meat and 2 veg, I probably would have come out and gone...
I think the whole thing is just making a mountain out of 2 molehills.
That's a good point.
I'd probably better, I think, the BBC preferred if we didn't descend into judging the woman's breasts. That would be the incorrect direction.
I think she's annoyed because, and every woman's had this on holiday, because I've looked at the photos, and they're at that awkward angle. When you're topless, you've got to stay at a certain position or it's not attractive, and she's in that reaching for the sun cream position. That's what she's annoyed about. You know, we've all got those photos, like my Uncle Terry, where he popped out of his shorts.
But do you think...
I didn't see that edition of Closer. Joe's Uncle Terry pops out of the shops and his shorts.
Do you think she's genuinely worried about it, though? Don't you think there's just one tiny... Well, do you think there's just one tiny bit of her that's thinking, yeah, where's my sister's arse now, then, eh?
Now we play a round called It's Getting Hot in Here, so take out all your jokes. This game involved Tiff and Ramesh, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launched a wheel of news, and whoever chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. The first subject is magazines. Who wants to come in that?
OK. As a woman, most of your life is designed to make you feel a little bit shit. And magazines are responsible for that. You know, magazines like OK, which I look at on the shelves and think, when are they going to stop putting people on the front of that who are quite clearly not OK? And magazines will recommend that you have plastic surgery. That seems to be everywhere. Too much plastic surgery these days. I think that's why they've invented emoticons. Right, they're for women who've had too much plastic surgery, so you can just hold up an iPad and say, I feel happy, I feel sad, I feel like a smiley poo with eyes. But I think the worst thing that magazines do is they perpetuate trends, really bad trends, right? I don't know how you guys feel about vajazzling. But I genuinely believe it is a plot by religious groups to get gay men interested in vaginas. By making them look like disco balls. I told my mum about the vajazzling, right? I said, Mum, they do this thing now where they put Diamante on your downstairs. And my mum just went, vajazzling? In my day, you were lucky if you gave it a wash.
Thank you very much, Jeff. OK, that leaves us with Ramesh. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is parenting.
I'm a parent. You know, we had our first child, and our first child is such a lovely kid. You know, he always says please and thank you. He's such a wonderful, wonderful little boy. I said to my wife, do you know what? I think we might have mastered parenting. I think it's just about setting clear boundaries and being consistent. The second one, feral. Right. Like, I love him, but what a prick this kid is. Like, I love him, but what an unacceptable human being. Like, I love him, but I don't like him. You know, that's... Like, I'm going to have to say to him one day, you're a mistake. And not, like, in the way that the contraception went wrong. Like, the decision to have you was a mistake. Sometimes I want him to get hurt. There you go, I said it. I said, now, listen. I don't mean really hurt. I don't mean really hurt, I just mean a little bit. You know, because he doesn't listen, this kid. When I say to him, don't do that, dude, because if you do that, you're going to get hurt. And then he does it, and he doesn't get hurt. That pisses me off, right? Because that is life telling him that I'm full of shit. This kid's running with scissors with no consequences, do you know what I mean?
Very good. Again, the points go to Tiff Tiverton. Come on back, both of you. And the first topic is health. Who wants to come out? Nish.
I had a bit of a health emergency last year. I was doing the washing up and I cut my hand. I was washing up and I pushed my hand into a glass. The glass shattered and it slashed my hand here and I had to go to hospital. And let me tell you this, the NHS staff are incredible. They're really nice to me. They're really sweet. One of them called me a brave boy. Which is good because I was being one, so I don't know what you're laughing at, OK? I'm the one with the badge. Anyway, before I did that, I did something which I probably regret doing. I called NHS 111. Now, if you don't know what this service is, it's a service the government has brought in to replace NHS Direct. So if you have a non-life-threatening emergency, you're supposed to dial 111 on your phones. Now, I'm sure that these people are very nice, but based on my experience, they have proportionately less skill than their numerical value compared to 999, because it was the blind leading the blind. At one point, she said, "How is the blood?" And I said, "Red," because I had no idea. Then she said, "Is there a lot of blood?" I said, "Yes," because there was a lot of blood. And she said, "Is there enough to fill a mug?" I've got no idea. I don't wish to brag. I have a lot of different mug sizes in my house. Also, while this was happening, I was just panicking. I wasn't decanting the blood in that it could be poured back into my body at a later date. Then she said, "Is the blood flowing or oozing?" I said, "I have no idea what the difference is between those two things is." And she said, "Oh, there's a difference." And I was like, I'm not getting getting into a semantic debate with you while blood is gushing out of my hand. And she just went, gushing. Thank you very much.
Well done, Miss Kumar. OK, that leaves us with Milton. Let's see what you've been left with. And the topic is transport.
When I was at school, my bike was smashed up. It was my own fault, really. I just handed out leaflets saying, bullying, let's break the cycle. We've been over this again and again and again, said my driving instructor, pointing to the Badger. Apparently, there is actually a road in the north of England called Quality Street. And there's only one person living in it, and he's both Turkish and delightful. Tricky, isn't it, if you're both a moth and a sea captain? In charge of a ship. But up ahead, you see a lighthouse. You know you shouldn't. Toilets in trains are rubbish, aren't they? Especially the one right at the front, and the bloke in there gets so cross.
And the points go to Mish. Come on, Mark.
First subject is language. Who wants to come in on that? Chris.
Language, apparently, was developed by humans to help them during hunting. That's what people will tell you. I don't buy that. I think language is more likely to have developed spontaneously, probably between a cave couple who were just furious with each other, incandescent with rage, but completely incapable of expressing their emotion, just standing opposite each other in the cave mouth, going until something had to give. And one of them finally snapped and went, "You prick!" And they all went, "Oh, it's all coming out now, isn't it? Never clean this cave up. This place is a tip." "Well, why didn't you say something before?" "Well, I couldn't, could I?" "You're a pig, you are. My mother warned me about you." "Oh, really? How?" Bantu, the Bantu languages of the southern African peoples, they speak with a system of clicks and tuts, this kind of using their throat and their tongue, and constantly surrounded by horses they've no need of. It's a nightmare for them. Bantu for go away horse is they're screwed, really, isn't it?
Thank you very much, Chris. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is home life. Who wants to come in? Sarah.
My home life involves no children. I don't really like children. And if you ask, most of my female friends don't have kids. If you ask any woman who doesn't have kids what would worry them about having kids, the answer would always be childbirth. From what I understand of childbirth, it changes you downstairs, doesn't it? It changes you downstairs. I quite like my downstairs the way it is, thanks very much. Certainly don't want an extension. But it's bound to change, though, isn't it? Because you're forcing a person out. That's what you're doing. You're forcing a person out. I've never forced a person out. I forced a couple in. But I was in a shop recently, and this little boy came running over to me, put his hand in mine and shouted, "Mammy!" And I thought, oh, sometimes forget me keys, but I think I'd remember that. And then his dad came over, and I thought, I wonder if this is the best chat-up line ever. And his dad's going to go, "No, no, that's not your mammy. Remember, your mammy left us because my willy's too big."
Interviews. Who wants to come in that?
OK.
Matt.
Go for that. It's fascinating watching different politicians and how they deal with interviews. Ed Miliband, when he gets asked a question he doesn't like, will just have this amazing technique where he'll just ask himself a new question and answer that instead. And it really works. He got asked before the election by Nick Robinson. Mr Miliband, you've said you'll set a new mansion tax. If you become Prime Minister, but you won't yet tell us at what rate you would set it. And Miliband just went, "Look, Nick, if you're asking me, have I got a plan for the housing market, then the answer's yes." It's amazing. Farage is one of the best ones at it, because no matter what you ask him, he'll get a political answer in some way. You could say, "Nigel, what you had for breakfast, mate?" And he'd go, "Tea, toast and the Telegraph. Great British breakfast." He always manages to get his messages across. Boris Johnson is fascinating because he just loves avoiding questions, and he uses a twin-track approach of flattery and Latin. And this genuinely works. If he was here now, you could say, "Boris, come on, just admit it. You want to be Prime Minister."
They go, oh, no, let me just say, great to be here amongst such great learned people on this crucible of culture. Reminds me very much of a phrase my father used to use, divitas, divitum, rectum.
Well done, Matt. Very good. OK, so James is left. Let's see what he's been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is Britain.
I wish I was Mexican. Love everything about... I love Mexican food. My favourite place to eat is a Mexican restaurant called Oaxaca. All you need to know about Oaxaca, everyone steals their spoons. So much so that every January, Oaxaca have a spoon amnesty on. You bring back one of the stolen spoons, and then they reward you with 3 tacos. Genius. Not only do they get their spoons back, they also get to watch while the thieves eat tacos, which I imagine have been interfered with beyond belief. Love Mexican food, love Mexican music. Mariachi music, best music in the world. Top 3 mariachi songs. Number 1. Number 2. Number 3, nothing, 'cause there are no other mariachi songs. Ever been to a mariachi nightclub? It's full of people just going up to the DJ like, hey man, have you got Yeah, I'll play it next. How about Open your ears, I'm playing it right now. You can request that song during the next one. Growing up in school, I was the only kid in my whole school who liked mariachi music. It was a nightmare. I couldn't walk down the corridor without some knob knocking my sombrero off my head, stepping on the back of my poncho on the way in a maths class. Once, a kid wrote Chimichanga Bumboy across my forehead while I was having my post-lunch siesta. He also drew a moustache on my face, but to be fair, that played into my hands.
Bravo, very good. It's close, but for sticking to the topic, James Acaster gets the points. Well done to both of you. Come on back.
The subject is family. Who wants to come out of that? Russ.
So, it wasn't easy growing up trying to be a little liberal kid in the most right-wing family in the whole of my town. My dad was the most right-wing person I knew, but always quick to point out, I'm not racist, but. That was the danger word. I'm not racist, but... Or the latest remix, which is even more innocuous and dangerous. All I want to do is have a sensible discussion about immigration. Yeah? Isn't it obvious? Well, no one with that face wants a sensible discussion about anything. I just want to have a sensible little chat in the back of that transit van over there, yeah? Me and my brothers, the rest of your family, Mr. Woolham-along, whatever your bloody name is, mate, yeah? Get in the van, right? My dad even managed to be prejudiced about my first car decision. How do you even achieve that? By British or German. Do not bring Crappanese onto my driveway, boy. Not only that, but I chose a hybrid car. Part electric, part petrol, papa, right? Another question mark hanging over my sexuality. It's the noise of it when it drove off. Thanks for Sunday lunch. Bye, Daddy. Thank you.
Well done. Good mark. OK, that leaves us with Milton. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is jobs.
I used to work at a Christian rock festival selling toasties. The best day was when I sold this Jewish bloke some yellow ham. My dad was a dustman. I didn't like him coming to collect us from school, though. Not because I was ashamed he was a dustman, it's just you never knew which day he was going to come. The rest of my family were police marksmen. Apart from my grandfather, he was a bank robber. He died quite recently, surrounded by his family. My uncle, he's a police frogman. No, sorry, he's a French policeman. I used to work in a supermarket. It was my job to hand out samples of things for people to taste. But I was asked to leave after the little cups of bleach incident. After that, I worked in a pathology lab, but I was asked to leave after one of my reports said cause of death, autopsy.
And the first topic is home life. Nate.
Yeah, I could talk about home life. I still live at home with my mum still. Thanks for the judgmental silence. Yeah, I live at home. My mates give me the most stick for it, because I'm the last one in my group of friends who still lives at home with my mum. They've all moved out, so they see me as a mummy's boy. And every time they see me, they're like, Nathan, what's wrong with you, man? Why are you still at your mum's, man? Aren't you embarrassed? Why are you still at your mum's? Why are you still at your mum's? It's like, I live in West London. Have you seen house prices? I'm not going anywhere, man. If anything, I'm looking at my mum thinking, when are you going to bloody leave? Clinging on, let it go, woman. She's gonna slap the black off me when she sees this. So yeah, I like peace and quiet. Although, to be honest, at home, I'm not getting a lot of peace and quiet at the moment, mainly because of my mum and my stepdad. They got married quite recently. And I'm happy for my mum. You know, she found happiness. She deserves it. However, at the moment, they're going through that honeymoon phase where they're having sex all the time. Yeah, it is bloody disturbing, man. Because my bedroom is, like, right next door. So, like, every time they do it, I hear everything. Like, a few Saturdays ago, right? It's late at night. I'm about to go to sleep. From next door, I can hear my stepdad going, oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, Lord, say something nasty, say something nasty, say something nasty. So I screamed out, you're not my real dad!
Thank you very much, Devin Denton. OK, that leaves us with Ed. Let's see what topic you've been left with. And the topic is diet.
I hope this isn't just a hint that I need to lose weight. I've lost quite a lot of weight recently anyway. I've lost about 6 stone in the last 3 years. Cheers, guys, thanks. I mean, no. Too late, you went with the British reaction. Thank you very much. Just couldn't give a shit, mate. Carry on. We don't... Stop showing off. We don't want to hear about it. Found myself in a bit of a nightmare situation recently. I went to the Middle East to do some gigs. Now, that bit was nice, that was lovely, but they put you up in a hotel where the food is all-you-can-eat buffets 3 times a day for 10 days. Now, this is a nightmare scenario for me because I cannot be trusted at an all-you-can-eat buffet. Sometimes I don't even remember the buffet bit. All I remember is picking up a plate and I'll wake up 6 hours later covered in rice and sauce. And I can't theme a buffet. I can't theme a buffet either. I won't pick up a plate and go, oh, I'll have some rice, I'll have some curry. Well done, Ed, you've made yourself an Indian meal. Won't do that. I'll get a plate, I'll get a spoon, and I'll run along the full line of trays, just scraping food from every nation onto it until I've got some sort of plate Pangea, just an unidentifiable mass, just Spanish food, Japanese food, Chinese food, Indian food, coffee, sushi, just horrible. Just wedge my face into it, everyone going, is that man all right? Don't look at me! I'm having a buffet! Just food from all over the world. My body for 10 days had no idea where I was on this planet. I went for a shit 3 days in, a UN flag came out.
Well done. Come on back. The next topic is charity. Joe, you going for that?
All this talk of family makes you a bit peckish, doesn't it? It's comic relief, right? Keep asking me if I'll go out to Africa, you know, to sort of comfort people. But how are they going to feel with me getting off the plane? Hello! You're all hungry, are you? I've had a good dinner. And, you know, there are huge problems to be tackled in Africa. I don't know if you know this, but actually in South Africa, you can insure yourself against getting raped because if you catch the HIV virus, treatment's really expensive. And what's that going to be like? You know, you're walking along, some bloke jumps out from behind a hedge, gets his ghoulies out, and you think, oh, Christ, there goes me no claims bonus there.
Sit down, Joe, please. OK, let's have another topic. The topic is crime. Who's coming in that? John.
The most important thing to remember about crime is that any law only makes sense in context. Look at sport. Punching someone repeatedly in the face is lauded in boxing, but is seriously frowned upon in table tennis. Similarly, if you come out of your corner in a boxing round bouncing a little ball on a bat, it's going to be literally seconds before you're staring at some lights. Furthermore, Moses. Now, there's a man who'd be on pretty much anyone's list of top 5 Jews. But think about it. When he led the children out of Israel, he was technically guilty of 3,000 counts of abducting a minor, bush arson, trespassing, and abducting the sea. And yet he walks free today. There really is no justice.
Well done, John. Very good. Sit down. Leaving us with 2 contestants. 1 topic we'll give you. Fight it out. Straight battle. What's the last topic this week? Jacques Chirac, Europe, let's say. Hugh, do you want to go first?
Britain isn't getting on very well with France at the moment, and it is partially because the French are a bit snooty. For example, take Concorde. Do you know, in the original version of Concorde, the French had their plane built with the front hinged the other way round, so it could turn its nose up when it landed on the But the kind of European integration we don't, any of us seem to mind, is town twinning. Everybody wants a French, town to twin with. And I didn't know how it happened, actually, until I recently went to Swindon. Met a bloke from Swindon Council. He told me that apparently it's very like getting a teenage pen pal, on the basis that Swindon was getting on very well with Monte Carlo until they sent them a photograph and never heard from them again.
Very good, very good. Well done, Hugh. Give him a round of applause. It is a head-to-head. Al, on the topic of Europe?
Well, of course, what's happened here is the French. The French have voted against Europe and now expect us to cough up for it. It's the classic example of the French attitude. They've lost the plot, basically, completely. I mean, these are people with a town called Brest, and none of them think it's funny. In any other country, a melted cheese would be regarded as a f***, wouldn't it? They're up to something, aren't they? No, well, I'm not done yet. Staying over there with their own customs. The point is, I think... I mean, that Eiffel Tower's a tragic waste of Meccano, isn't it? As a result, French boys have nothing to play with except themselves, and that's how it started, isn't it?
Al, thank you very much. Al Murray, give a round of applause. Tough to say, I'm giving it to Hugh, I'm giving it that side. Sit down, both of you.
The first subject is leadership.
Leadership looks fun, but it's stressful. Just look at anyone leading a conga. On the outside, it looks brilliant, having a great time all the time, just... Yes, you bloody are. Yes, you bloody are, mate. In their heads, just going, I don't know where I'm going. I didn't plan a route. I never asked for any of this. God, I miss my family. Everyone's trapped in the conga. You think you can leave? You can't leave. Person at the back, maybe, they can let go, make a run for it. Everyone else, you let go. You're not out the conga. Now, you're the leader of a rival conga. Now you've got turf wars to worry about. Worst case scenario, you're second from the back, you let go. The one person behind you loves congas, isn't giving up for anyone. You're trying to mingle at the party with a maniac on your hips. Have a serious discussion about the Lib Dem conference and still going hell for leather. You'd have to go swimming just to get rid of them. Never going to lead a conga. Never going to lead a Three Cheers either. I don't know who these lunatics are. I don't know where you acquire that level of confidence. Just get up in a room full of people. 3 cheers for Jackie, hip hip. What if everyone goes, no? Not 3 cheers for Jackie, she's an unpleasant person. How about no cheers for Jackie? Hip, hip, shut up.
OK, that leaves us with Gary. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. OK, the topic is health. Where you go?
I'm a lot sportier than I might look. In fact, I picked up a little niggle at the gym the other day. I mean, he pronounces it Nigel. I had a very stressful journey getting here today. All the way, this lorry driver was right up my arse. But it was nice of him to give me a lift. I spent most of the afternoon hanging out at the swimming baths. And then somebody told me and I tucked it back in again. I put on a lot of weight recently, so I rang up Weight Watchers. I said, it's an emergency. Can you send somebody round? And they said, yes, we can. We got loads of those. My grief counsellor died recently, but luckily he was so good I didn't give a shit. I accidentally kicked the dog earlier and he bit me on the bollocks. My mate said it's karma. I said, no, if anything, he's even more angry. I asked the vet, what can I do? I think my dog's racist. He keeps barking at the Asian man next door. And the vet said, muzzle him. I said, I don't know, but he's got a beard. I went round to see my nan. I said, what you been up to? She said, weed in the garden. I said, well, at least you didn't shit in it. I was in the garden with my girlfriend earlier, and we saw the 18-year-old girl next door, all dolled up, ready to go out clubbing. And my girlfriend said, do you know what? At that age, I could really see myself in her. Which was weird, because I was thinking the exact same.
Thank you very much. Well done, Davey. Point there for Davey. Come on.
Our next round is called This Is the Answer, What is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. John, which category would you like?
I would like world news, please, Dara.
OK, world news is the category. The answer is 3%. What is the question?
Is it what percentage of my life have I spent thinking the toaster is broken when actually I haven't plugged it in?
Is it my milkshake brings what percentage of boys to the yard?
Is it, what is my success rate for plugging in a USB charger the right way around first time?
Is it how much of a portion of Viennetta you get around Jeremy Hunt's house?
Is it what percentage of the population of Midsummer are still alive?
Is it how many of Southern Rail's trains run today?
You're ha-ha-ha and clapping now. You're never getting home.
Is it, what are the chances?
Very true. Very,
It
very
could
true.
be like, what are the chances of John proposing live on air? How much a week? Oh my God, let's come up.
And
Why not?
Which is...
It's spider hands.
Please tell me that when you propose, as you ever do, you will do spider hands first. You will
Every day I propose to someone random. And I'll come up and go... What? No? OK, go on.
It's the percentage of Facebook posts from new parents that I give a shit about.
Is it...
Oh, yeah, you all got kids, haven't you? Keep your dirty dick in your trousers and save us all a lot of bother.
This is so much like an anxiety dream for me.
Will you marry me?
Wow.
You got it on tape, right? You can't deny it. I'm going to show his mum.
Is it... no jam?
It's not about jam. It's clearly not about jam.
What is the answer?
It's world news.
It's
we
world
make our own
news.
jam. is, I suspect, how far ahead is Hillary Clinton in the polls?
That's absolutely the correct answer. Thank you very much. You get the same.
Now we come to scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, please. I'll read out this week's topics, and then we'll see what our panelists can come up with. OK, here we go. The first subject is unlikely things to hear in a police station.
Here, Sarge, the microwave's broken again. Taser that meat pie for me, will you?
I know it's unlikely, but I don't suppose anybody has handed in Colonel Gaddafi, have they?
I noticed the burglar making his escape. At this moment, I cursed the police cutbacks and gave chase, shouting, Nina, Nina, Nina.
All units, be on the lookout for a purple Renault Clio. Registration number, Saffron Doily 22, Bongella Chrysanthemum. Hiya!
No, we didn't manage to evict many of them, Sarge, but the good news is I got some lucky heather.
No, I've not come to report a crime. It's just that I really missed the bill, so I thought I'd pop in for an hour. Here, Sarge, pass us the arts section out the Guardian, will you, mate?
Yes, I know how identity parade works. That's her! That's her! That's the woman I robbed.
Right, listen up. We've got a new man starting. He's half man, half horse. It's Inspector Morse.
Yes, our new 50-inch plasma screen TV. It is rather nice, isn't it? Well, if you can't beat them, eh?
I am charging you with the murder of Mrs. Thompson. That'll be £7.19, please.
Right, listen up. There's a giant fly attacking the station. I've called the SWAT team.
Thank God you've arrived, officer. Some bloke just jumped into the boot of my car and shot himself 14 times.
Yeah, we got the tox report back. Turns out they go straight after the ticks.
I was about to arrest her, Sarge, but to be honest, my bottle went because she shouted out, "I put a curse upon you!
Okay. Hello, I'm Dara O'Brien. Happy Christmas and welcome to a special festive edition of Mock the Week. We'll be talking about the holidays as well as looking back at some of our favourite moments from the last series, along with bonus bits we've never shown before. Hope you enjoyed. I asked the panellists a series of questions all about the festive season in the hope of filling 5 minutes we're trying to get out of this of our Christmas special. So, teams, here we go. First question, what Christmas tradition was it? There are no buzzers or any points. This show is not built in any way to accommodate genuine quizzes. But nonetheless, you can take your turn. Which Christmas tradition was inaugurated by Sir Henry Cole in 1843?
Is it the Christmas tree?
Is it not the Christmas tree?
Arguing with your relatives?
No, it's not that one either, I'm afraid, no.
Is it holding mistletoe above your head and therefore being allowed to sexually harass other people?
It is not that happy tradition, no.
Is it waking your children early, saying to them, oh, it looks like the sleeping pills have worked, happy Easter?
Is it going to church just once a year, and that's usually at midnight after the pubs have closed because you want one more glass of wine?
Man, you really want to be desperate for your wine, wouldn't you? It's something to bring up at an AA meeting. I sat through God. That's how much I wanted another drink.
Is it a Christmas stocking?
That's not Christmas stocking.
That's a Victorian tradition.
Were you trying to mine something there for us?
It was
the Christmas card.
Yes! Well done, Ed Byrne. Points for him. Congratulations.
There are no points.
I know there are no points.
You promised us there'd be no points.
Name Santa's reindeer. I'll take attempts at this.
Donner and Blitzen.
Correct.
Prancer and Vixen.
That's 2 each.
Dasher.
Yes, 3
It's like
each.
you're doing a duet. Donner. But not Rudolph. That's a lie.
We've had. What have we had? I've lost. I'm actually lost.
Donner and Blitzen. Donner and Blitzen. Some Dasher Comet.
Bashful.
Bashful and Sleepy. Doc and
If one's called Comet, one's going to be called Curry's.
Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Comet, Vixen, Cupid.
Cupid?
No, we said Cupid.
Ridiculous name for a reindeer. Cupid.
They must have teased him, though, with a name like that. They must have teased him. He must have been the reindeer that they teased.
Reindeer are notoriously shallow, in fairness. If the story about Rudolph is anything to go by, reindeer are ridiculously shallow. And they will make fun and they will slag you off until you get a job with Santa, and then they will all love you. The last line of that song should actually be, and then Rudolph turned around at them and said, well, fuck yous, I'm with Santa now.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Why did you look at my ass for the entire... Why don't you fly the entire world while you look at my hole, right? I don't know how fast we fly, that's all you're going to see. Ho, ho, ho. Yeah, all you're going to see is my hairy reindeer ass going all around the world. The nose is in the front, bitches. The nose is fighting fog, but you're looking at my ass, Cupid. That's all you get.
Enjoy your reindeer game.
Oh, can we move on? Oh, sorry, is that not festive enough for this ridiculously good time? Sorry, am I not striking the mood of the nation at this stage? Yeah, look at the bitches! Look at that ass! See you, baby! Shaking that ass! Shaking that ass! Yeah. Good night!
Ho, ho, ho. We start with a round called This Is the Answer, What is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Fred, which category would you like?
World news, please, Dana.
OK, your category is world news. The answer is 1/5. What's the question?
Is this what fraction of the Jackson 5 might miss the Christmas party?
Is it how much of the weekend can Andrew Flintoff remember?
Is it how much of French and Saunders is Saunders?
Is it what proportion of Enid Blyton's The Famous Five can lick their own testicles?
Is it England's only dwarf king was called Henry the what?
How much of a Boris Johnson speech is not, well, I say, boss?
Is it how does Jamie Oliver pronounce one fish?
Is it how much of Wikipedia is true?
I'll tell you, on that... Actually, I won't mention that on telly.
What does it say about you?
Go on, what does it say about you?
No, go on.
It says, somebody's written, I was once kicked out of a zoo for punching a monkey, and then somebody underneath has put correction, he spanked the monkey. I didn't do either.
In my bit on a trivia about me, it says, I once aided the RSPCA in saving a goose from a tile shop. I don't remember the event. It's incredibly specific.
What's the point of Wikipedia if people just write it themselves? I think every Wikipedia entry should have to start with "I reckon." Probably.
Yeah. Do you know
on
what?
The balance
Somebody else.
of
I've just remembered another. This is a creepy thing that somebody put on my Wikipedia. They said of me, he looks like the kind of straight bloke that would be quite good at gay sex. I'll be honest. When I read that, I did go get in, but he went on to say, but he looks like he'd cry afterwards. So there's part of me now that wants to find a gay man to test the theory. So if there's any out there, bring it.
I suspect there will be a few out there.
Yeah.
Probably about 1/5.
There you go.
What honour was the actor Nicolas Cage given this year?
Nicolas Cage, right? He's actually going to be able to turn the Christmas lights on in Bath.
This, by the way, aren't the lights in Bath. This is...
Apparently, what happened was...
Those are the lights in Dundee.
Somebody actually put a note through his door. He's got a house in Bath, and he's agreed to turn on the lights. I put a note through Cheryl Cole's door, and apparently that's a matter for the police.
Do you know what's really weird about this story?
Not only is it incredible that they've got Nicolas Cage to do it, but also there must have been an incredibly uneasy phone call to Barry Chuckle. Yes,
sorry, Brian. Nicolas Cage is doing it.
Well,
Maybe they gave him a part in an action movie where he knocks out Vin Diesel by turning round quickly with a plank.
Do you know what's really awkward about this story? This is genuinely true. Until last week, I was doing it.
Really?
I was there. Yeah. And then from nowhere, Cage has just jumped. What's funny, all my relatives like, do you want us to sort him out? No, I don't want you to sort him out. Because we'll go around there and mess him up. Don't mess him up.
Because you were originally up for the part in Face Off as well, weren't you?
And what's really funny about it is the lady that posted the letter through the door is the exact lady that went, oh, we'd love you to do it. You'd be great. And then I read in the paper without even telling me, the big Nicholas, you bitch.
About 10 years ago, I switched on the Christmas lights in Kidderminster.
Wow!
And because I've been rude.
There are Christmas lights in Kidderminster.
Yeah.
Were you asked to do this?
Yeah, because we've been rude.
He's reneging! We had Bruce Willis!
We've been rude about Kidderminster on television. Got a letter from the Kidderminster Tourist Board or whatever saying, would you come and switch on the Christmas lights? So you think, oh, that'd be great, I'd love to do that. But you don't actually do it. Because what they do is they give you one of those enormous pretend switches, right? And you have to kind of go like this on a balcony to a crowd below, and you kind of go, oh, I'm going to press the thing now. And you press it, and as you press it, a bloke in a room behind turns on a switch. So you're not doing it.
So hang on a minute, so that bloke's going to be me. I'm going to be the
Right.
So you were asked to do it because you were rude about
Because I was rude about Kidderminster. I also did a joke once about Wolverhampton and got invited on a tour of Wolverhampton.
I'm thinking bigger than that. If I slag off Jessica Alba, do I get a tour of Jessica Alba?
Well, apparently Bristol wanted to have Bruce Willis switching on their lights, but then they remembered that he tends to get into a lot of trouble around Christmas time.
I remember years ago getting up really early Christmas morning, running downstairs, ripping open one of my presents, but unfortunately it was a puppy. That's not true. It was a kitten. That's not true. It was an old man. I remember all I wanted for Christmas was an action man. What I got was a plastic doll with a cord on the back, and you pulled it when 25, 25, 25, 30, 35, 35, 35, 40. Looked at the packet. Auction man. I don't know about you, I often feel like Joseph at the inn in Bethlehem, holding a crib of straw and saying, no, I wanted to see the manager. I think the most peaceful Christmas I remember, your manger. I think the most peaceful Christmas I remember was when my mother mistakenly covered the cake with tomazepam.
The Christmas quiz! See? People now come especially for the Christmas quiz to look at our fabulous decorations.
He's got
this tape, which I think is actually sort of sweet. And then, for no particular reason, a squirrel. A squirrel with tinsel on him, which is not in any way a festive
Donald
animal.
Trump's hair at the back.
And then this, a genuine, you can purchase this, which is a glistening owl with antlers on. You know, you can just cost like £4.50 or something in a shop.
Is this your audition for QVC?
Anyway, so that's, you know, hey. OK, here's the Christmas quiz, right? In which there'll be quizzes and questions. What makes the traditional British Christmas dinner unique?
Turkey, sprouts.
No. What is it about it that actually...
Racism.
No, not unique, it's an achievement. Not racism.
You can't say that for every question, Nick.
So what makes a British Christmas dinner outstanding?
Why did you ask it again without mumbling?
I'm sorry, my face is full of your shitty lemon meringue pie.
It is quite tart. It will a little...
Oh, it didn't fall apart. Bravo. OK, why is the British Christmas dinner outstanding?
Is it considered the unhealthiest or something?
Very close. Yeah, it is.
The most fatty.
It is the unhealthiest in Europe. A typical Christmas dinner in this country contains 3,289 calories, 70 grams of fat, 210 grams of carbohydrates. The second most calorific Christmas dinner in the world.
Who's the most calorific?
Take a wild fucking guess. What do you want for Christmas this year?
I don't know. I don't want anything for Christmas.
Hand job off an elf.
You get the number one gift apparently for kids this year?
Nerf guns.
The
Nerf gun is 64 quid. And you could go to America and buy a gun for less than that.
Actually, it's like it's a ludicrously scary thing, the Nerf gun. This is the current...
Hey, don't point that there. Hey, point that over somewhere else.
Thomas, I'll be really, really careful. I wouldn't dream of doing that to you. Of all the people here, you were the last person that I would fire the... Boom! Hang on. Oh, yeah, there's three things you can do, right? You can do this big one here. Right.
Listen, Nerf is how I did this to my eyes. So I'm just saying. I'm just warning you.
OK, cool. I'll get him instead. Right, OK, Grant. Are we OK to sacrifice you for this? And then you can do these.
I guess so.
I bet you could catch one of your
certain
teeth,
there's an instruction manual that says do not aim at people's faces.
Yeah,
Please remember that I am a special man with special powers and do not try this at home.
How far will it get? How far do you think it'll get?
I don't know, but if he hits any of you, sue the shit out of you. All that money they're saving on Bake Off now can go to you.
Can you get to the back? I mean, because this is... I feel it can be unnecessarily powerful, this thing.
Yeah.
Right, OK, so let's decide
Yes,
the back.
I certainly feel that.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Oh, nah. Good catch. Well done. Respect. That is, I'm estimating 7 gardens away.
So you asked, what do you want for Christmas? So you could then shoot us.
He's still got the up with me, James, because he got heckled in Derby because they wouldn't shake his hands. I always shake people's hands after the show, and in Derby, I was there the week before and shook everyone's hand, and then someone walked out of his show and went, at least Rob Beckett shook our hand.
That actually happened. Can you believe it? He shakes people's hands on the way out the door like a little kiss ass. Afterwards. Here's what most of us do, right? We do our stand-up and then we go, that'll be enough. And we go back, because that's our job. And Rob goes, please light me at the door. Shaking all the hands. It's pathetic.
I was thankful they came, James, and to be fair, like, you know, it's only 4 people you've got to shake, so you should...
Listen, here's what's annoying about it, right? I got heckled with this thing. Rob Beckett shook our hands.
What else did they say? What else did they, James, what else did they say?
And he had proper jokes. So then I was like, right, for a joke then at the end, I said good night, and then I legged it downstairs to the door, and I shook all their hands on the way. I was like, however, 4 of them, but like shaking all of their hands. And when the last one went out, and it was clearly a joke that I was doing to make fun of Rob, and the last one went out, and the venue manager came up to me and went, thanks for doing that. It really means a lot to him when people take the time to shake their hands. I was like, that was a joke! I'm not Rob Beckett.
Yeah, but the thing is, let's be honest, I didn't have many other options open to me career-wise, so I'm just very thankful they turn up. Genuinely, because without them, I would probably be on the street.
Yeah. At the end of my shows, I say, I've been James Acaster, and I could have been anything. And I walk
Why would you want to be given clothes as a Christmas present in Iceland?
Because it's really cold.
It's cold.
It's freezing there. It's a land of ice, Dara!
Is it because you can take them back and get the money back in exchange for the clothes?
No, it's not that perfectly practical good reason to get clothes.
Because clothes is just a good present wherever you are.
Oh, God, yes, I know. OK, the question...
Because people don't have I'm sorry, clothes. Are you getting exasperated at us, trying to think of humorous answers to ridiculous questions that you're posing? Should we just try our hardest to come up with the correct answer? No. Would that slightly miss the point of a comedy quiz?
No. Is it because normally they sell frozen food?
The reason you should be given clothes as a Christmas present is to stop you getting eaten by the Yule cat. Yule Kuterin.
Tell you what, I wonder why you didn't get the QI presenting. There's got to be one show you don't present, hasn't
There
there?
has to be, yeah. Don't think so, yeah. What might you expect to eat at Christmas in Japan?
Food.
Yes.
Sushi.
No.
Sashimi.
No. Don't just name all Japanese things you can think of.
Wagamamas.
Not... A bucket of...
Eels.
No.
Turkey.
That's not a clue.
It's a really good clue. A bucket
Fried chicken.
Of fried chicken.
Is it fried chicken?
It's fried chicken, Nish. Not just any fried chicken.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Kentucky Fried Chicken. Since 1974, KFC has marketed itself in Japan as a Christmas food.
Oh, very clever.
With the advertising phrase, Kentucky for Christmas. That's... Look.
I beg your pardon.
Kentucky for Christmas. A lot of things to hear at Christmas.
Oh, John, thank you so much for my electric toothbrush. No, it's everything I wanted and more. Oh, you got lots of nectar points on it. Good.
Do the fork and take a pew. This might run for a while. Yeah.
Oh, Sarah. A holiday to Barbados? That's going to help in the fight against plaque.
It's Christmas. Today? Are you sure? The shops have kept that very quiet. Oh, look, everyone's eating all the nuts I've bought. I should buy some more. Leg or breast? I'd really rather you just put your clothes back on, Greg.
I'd just like to reassure everyone that the sponsorship deal will have no effect on this year's nativity. Now, Joseph, if you could just pop Jesus in the Pret a Manger.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Christmas with a vegan.
This is your Christmas and birthday present. Yes, it is a turkey with 16 candles stuck in it.
We always have a goose here at Christmas. I don't know why, really. Its conversation's terrible and it shits all over the floor.
Let's see the first topic, please. The first subject is catering. Anyone's given that? Josh.
My favourite place to eat is the breakfast buffet in a hotel. Because at a breakfast buffet, I will eat absolutely everything. That's the rule, isn't it? At home, I will have cereal or toast for breakfast. At a breakfast buffet, I am having cereal and toast as my starter. In combinations you would never consider at home. Coming back and what have I got? Well, 8 hash browns, topped with some Dutch cheese, actually. I have 4 pain au chocolat, 6 croissants, some segments of a fruit I've never heard of, and 12 of the smallest orange juices you have ever seen in your life. I eat so much at breakfast buffet, I'm so tired, I have to go back to bed. And then sleep through to my next breakfast buffet. I'll be mixing the cereals, going crunchy nut cornflakes with shreddies. Who do I think I am, Heston Blumenthal? You've got to do it, don't you? It's like when you're in Nando's, they give you the plastic glass to pour your own drink. I think, well, I'll be an idiot not to make myself a spranter in this situation, wouldn't I? What am I having? Having a Sprocofola, actually, yeah, all of it. What did it taste like? Utter shit, absolutely terrible. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joe and Jack. OK, let's have a look at the next subject. And the topic is smoking. Let's come out. Joe.
I've actually given up smoking, which, well, that's a lie. I'll be honest with you, I'm one of those pricks that says they've given up and then goes to the pub and smokes yours. Because when I was a proper smoker, I hated pricks like that. I really like... You know, someone comes to you and go, have you got a spare cigarette? I go, no. Because unfortunately, I'm addicted to them. Which means I pretty much take a shine to all of them. Have you got a spare cigarette? Yeah, I do, weirdly, because I'm a 19-a-day man myself. Thanks away, you knobhead. What else, like... Warnings, they do nothing for me, like... You know, the warnings, they're quite drastic things, they're like smoking kills. So? I've got a horrible picture and still people don't give up. And I thought, bloody hell. So I've come up with a couple of ideas, right, to get people to give up smoking. They're just ideas, right? You could either put a warning on cigarette packets that says something like, one of these fags has been up a dog's arse. Yeah, I think that'll separate the men from the boys, won't it? Or simply make cigarettes cock-shaped.
Well done, Joe. Thank you very much. So that leaves Milton. Let's see what topic you've got. And the topic is school.
That last bloke was a bit weird, wasn't he? Anyway, I went back to my old school the other day. First time in 30 years. I took a note. Teacher said, so, Jones, what have you done with your life? I said, oh, I'm just Britain's top Ofsted inspector. They were a lot nicer to me after that. I was there for the funeral of my old science teacher. They asked me to say a few words, so I did. Method. We put the coffin in the crematorium. Observations. It burned with an orangey bright flame. Conclusion. No more homework.
Well done. Point out to the Milton Jones. Very good. It was the back. There we go. Subject is hospitals. Who wants to come in? Miles.
Hospitals. I can understand why some people think that they're a good idea. I really dislike them. I think hospitals are terrifying places to be. I've had several general anaesthetics over the last year. I'm terrified of all of these things. I think hospitals, they are basically they are grey buildings full of people who are dead, about to be, overworked, stressed out, or asking for change for the car parking facilities. That's all they... I can't understand, therefore, why, even now, even today, we have this thing where the idea that a nurse's uniform is considered sexy. Now, I've got no doubt whatsoever that lots and lots of nurses themselves... I should imagine some of them unbelievable creatures. But the idea... But the idea that the outfit itself is sexy. And yet, if you wander into a sex shop, either, deliberately, or, you might have some sort of job that involves touring, you've constantly got to go and ask directions in places. Still, people are buying nurses' uniforms as a sexy outfit. What is sexy about a nurse's uniform? Surely a nurse's uniform, that just screams hospital at you. Who's at home going, oh, I'll tell you what, darling, could you dress up as a nurse for me tonight? You dress up as a nurse. I want you to remind me of the time I had a length of my bowel removed. Would you do that for me? Would you? Go on, I'll tell you what, when you put that on, act like a naughty nurse. Go on, act like a naughty nurse. A naughty nurse is one that doesn't wash their hands. That smothers you with a pillow, having subtly encouraged you to alter your own will.
Thank you very much, Miles. OK, that leaves us at Milton. Let's see what you can offer. Let's spin the wheel.
It's travel. Away you go.
Keep Britain tidy. Chop off Norfolk and Cornwall. People from New Zealand don't like being called Australian, do they? Oh, no. What people from Britain don't realise is an entirely separate culture. There's a great big sea between the two places. What people from New Zealand don't realise is that we in Britain don't care. I've just come back from Holland. When I was there, I was in a fish restaurant, and the bloke on the table next to me began to cough, so I ignored him. Then he began to cough a bit more, so I still ignored him. Then he began to choke really, really badly, so in the end I stood up and I smacked him on the back really hard. Anyway, it turns out he was just speaking Dutch. That works with Welsh as well. You have to admire the Dutch, because what they've done, right, is legalise drugs, and now there are far fewer people in prison. I suppose the next step is to legalise murder. There'll be far, far fewer people in general. Sometimes, though, it's difficult to know if you remember something or you remember the photograph of something. I think my earliest memory is of being in America, standing over an air vent and my skirt billowing up. That's not a very technique today.
Boys there, the Midland Jones. Come on back.
OK, the next topic is unlikely to hear at Euro 2016.
Wayne Rooney's come out covered in Formica. I think the managers told them to play as a unit.
Rooney is playing in the pocket. Oh, that's unpleasant.
And England go through on penalties.
And the French mascot is 7-year-old Lucien Dubois from Nice, showing us all how to smoke a cigarette with real panache there.
Oh, that is an absolutely shocking decision by the referee. Black shorts, black shirt. I'm sure the girls will agree with me. Way too matchy-matchy.
Let's not forget that Roy Keane and Martin Skirtle were club mates at Real Sociopath.
Oh, that is an absolute beauty. Swedish, about 25. Well done, Dirty Dave on camera 5.
The England front three are trying to get in behind, but the Wags are having none of it.
And the crowd invade the pitch and the French officials have surrendered.
Oh, did that cross the line? Seemed a bit racist to me.
Well, next for us, it's Iceland-Turkey, and when that's defrosted, it's England-Slovakia.
And Russia have gone for a 4-3-3-7-8-10-1-9-16 formation. We're never going to get out of this alley.
Well, let's look at the stats in the first half. I was responsible for 90% of the clichés, and that really is the icing on the cake.
And the Swedes are out. He really should have worn tighter shorts.
So who's up for the World Cup in Russia? Guys?
There goes Ronaldo down the wing, doing what he did a minute ago, and he's slightly slower. This is the replays now. Yeah.
Say, cometh the hour, cometh the man, and I have. I'm just off to get some more pants.
At the end of that round. The boys go to Rod, Ed and Miles. This round is called, if this is the answer, what is the question? On the board, 6 categories. Joe, which category would you like?
Sport.
Your category is sport. The answer is 250,000.
Is that the amount of Iceland dinners the robbers took from Kerry Katona's house?
I think there's a point where they came in, do you have anything other than drumsticks? Is there anything that isn't breaded?
Is it what world ranking is the British tennis number 5?
Is it how many calories in a Scottish salad?
Is it, what position did I finish in the 1987 Henley School Sports Day obstacle race because I got stuck in the sack, but it didn't traumatise me at all. I don't even care now.
Is it, if you phone up British Telecom, which position in the queue are you likely to be?
What percentage of people failed O-level maths?
Is it...
I'm gonna ask you to speed towards the correct answer.
It's sport, isn't it?
Is it to do with Beckham?
It is to do with Beckham.
How many shirts do the Americans claim that Beckham has sold?
That's absolutely right. Well done, Russell. Congratulations. The question I was looking for is how many Beckham replica shirts are LA Galaxy already claiming to have sold?
He's wearing that the wrong way round.
He is. That's the first case.
Does anyone think that Beckham actually knows he's in America? I think he just runs after a ball and all he notices is that occasionally it gets warmer. I don't think he even knows he's rich. He's like one of those cats that its owners left a fortune to.
Things you wouldn't hear on a science documentary.
My favourite element is helium. I can't speak highly enough of it.
The solar system is so vast that it could comfortably accommodate your mum.
The most fascinating thing is, if you really spend enough time looking at the alignment of the stars, your wife will leave you.
They call it dark matter. Well, whatever it is, I've tried to flush it 4 times and it's still bloody there.
The light from this new, distant planet takes so long to get here that we're actually seeing things that happened years ago, and that's why scientists have named it Dave.
Tonight we're discussing sports science. Is it a real job or is it just PE when it's raining?
In our next experiment, we're going to prove that putting Dara O'Brien in a room full of young people still doesn't make science interesting.
I think we've got the points.
So, if we look through the telescope, we can see the biggest black hole ever found. Oh no, I've left the lens cap on.
Weren't D-Ream shit? How does your granny's stairlift work? Well, it's all to do with nanotechnology.
No, Nigel, that's not how you make a test tube baby. Get your penis out of the test tube.
So this is amazing, right? So what you're saying is that somewhere, Professor Cox, in a parallel universe, there is a me with hair. That's right, Dara.
The end of that round. Nobody gets any points at the end of that round. Next topic is unlikely things to hear in hospital.
We need a drip. Somebody get me Michael Gove.
Now, the good news is your blood results have come back clear. The bad news is blood shouldn't be clear.
Oh, my God, yay! £350 million. Great news, thanks.
Time of death, Pim's o'clock.
Look, if you squeeze his drip really hard, he gets an erection.
I'm a junior doctor and I get paid enough.
Erectile dysfunction, you say? Does it hurt when I do this? And does it feel amazing when I do this?
Now, you have pneumonia. Would you like to keep that or gamble for the big prize?
I remember when my dick looked that young.
I am the leading gynecologist in this hospital. I work in the cafe, but I'm a bit of a legend. Would anybody like a hand? I've just found a hand.
You have cancer. Sorry, you're having a cancer. Your baby is due July 15th.
Well, the good news, it's not spread. It might be jam or peanut butter. I see you. I see you. No, can you tell me the way to the ICU?
We've had a look at your X-ray, and what we've found might alarm you. There's a big skeleton living in your body.
Yes, I think it's a curvature of the upper spine, but it's just a hunch.
Good news, Mrs. May. We managed to have your tear ducts repaired just in time for your big speech.
All right, yeah, now the point to the Tom. All gamers! Okay, here we go. The first subject is things you wouldn't hear on a news programme.
And the markets are as followed. £3 a loose banana there, £3 a juicy straw.
Well, he went in half an hour ago and he still hasn't come out, so I can only assume he's having a very big poo.
Sad news now. Wally has been found. His funeral's next week. No one knows where, but that's what he would have wanted.
As I stand here in this village where the water is ridden with disease and human faeces, we have to ask ourselves one question. Why did I choose to wear flip-flops?
Sorry, I just wanted to check something. I'm standing just a stone's throw from where the meeting is taking place.
With thousands dead, there looks like no end to the bloodshed. I've been Holly Walsh for the BBC, reporting from Midsummer.
Welcome to Fox News. The bastards have been through the bins again and shit on the drive.
And And the Italian wing of Heinz soup has been put into administroni.
I'm on the scene where the search continues for the beloved pantomime star. What's that? He's where?
The fighting here has been drawn out and bloody, but I have finally got my microphone back from that bastard at Sky News.
We cross live now to the King's Road, where Jose Mourinho has no trousers or pants on and is telling the pigeons it's the referee's fault.
And we've got Barry Chuckle on the scene of the crime. Barry, to you.
It's not good news. I've just been talking to the American ambassador and I said to him, surely now Osama bin Laden has gone from terrorist to martyr. He said, we say tomato.
Is there sexism at the BBC? Let's ask Sally Johnson, who's our lovely smiles and pretty cakes correspondent.
This is the first time I have reported from the Pamplona Bull Run. Fucking hell!
It is identity theft.
Like, the simplest things now you can't do without the threat of identity fraud. Like getting a passport. I went to get a new passport, queued for 2 hours, got to the front of the queue, they said, sorry, you can't use this photo, it's not valid. Why? Your face is too big. My face is normal. Right? It's a normal size, bit of a beaky nose, but I can't stab someone with that. Because of terror, there's all these rules now for passport photos. Your face can't be too close to the camera. You can't be smiling too much. You can't have a hat on, gun, all this, right? Like, what do you mean my face is too big? OK, immigration officials, maybe not the brightest people in the world, are they really going to look at your passport and go, yeah, that looks like you, except this man's face is massive? If this was you, you'd be a bloody giant.
Well done, Mark. OK, let's spin the wheel again. And the subject is terror threat. Jo Crawford.
I've been given quite a lot of thought to the whole suicide bomber situation. Now, what I'm thinking about particularly is their award of 72 virgins, because I think they haven't really thought this through. Because what the suicide bomber is imagining as a virgin may be very different in reality. Because do you know who's also a virgin? My Auntie Joyce in Dublin. She's 67 and lives with 14 cats. I don't think that's what they've got in mind. But I think that would truly be divine justice. You've blown yourself up, you get to heaven, what's your reward? My Auntie Joyce. And she's keen. She's waited a long time. When you've done me, there's 71 of my friends from the church need doing as well. You'll have to do Bridget from behind. She's on a Zimmer frame now.
Jo Crawford. The answer is £100 a day. What is the question?
Is it according to the Sun, how much does the average beggar make a day?
You're ruining by saying a day when it's already got a day in the answer.
Okay. Is it? Let me have another crack at that one.
Repetition of a day.
Say
it without a day and I'll watch.
What's happening?
Well, I was just about
to.
to.
Ed's turned into like the Microsoft paperclip. He's trying to write his letter. You're doing it wrong.
Are you doing a list?
According to the Sun, right, what does a beggar earn?
But we are apparently in the middle of a countryside crime wave. Have you seen this?
If I lived in a country, I'd be delighted if someone did a crime, because I'd be bored out of my mind. Thank God you've turned up with a shotgun to steal my rhubarb. Could you kill me on the way out?
Some bloke sold rhubarb from an allotment. You have to
tag it.
Just
Why don't they tag it?
Imagine the phone call. Just some deranged. They've taken it. It's gone. My prize-winning marrow. Is there no God? You have.
Surely you just put rhubarb down his sleeves and then go.
Had I been there, well, you can't ever feel sorry for the. That's the lowest rung of criminality, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Finish. Just. I'm going to kill myself here.
Beautiful. Vintage Mock the Week. He brought up the subject just so someone else could do a joke on it. Surely he might have been working towards a punchline. You ignorant.
Jesus. I think the Marcus will get a higher chair for the joke umpire.
I have a feeling the Microsoft Paperclip's taken some cocaine. But... I like it.
That's great. Little animation of the paper go. Good, yes. That's a really good letter.
The point I was going to make is, surely, right, fellas, but surely if you're a bank robber, you're sexy, you're dangerous, you can get diamonds for your lover. If you steal from allotments, what hope have you got, you know? You've got dirt underneath your fingernails. All you have to offer is broccoli. You know?
Hey, a woman who's going to have sex for broccoli is going to be dirty.
I was wondering if one of the reasons they were trying to steal...
Wouldn't that be... Hang on, sorry to interrupt you, Andy, but wouldn't that be the...
Frankly, I wish to go on the record and say I have now lost control. Do you enjoy Christmas? Do you like the holiday season?
Why isn't there any decoration on the set?
I know, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Without any decoration, boys?
Oh.
Yeah! Christmas is here!
Nothing.
That's...
Nothing makes Christmas more than a miserable Scot just going...
Do it now. This should be the opening of the Olympic ceremony.
Well, do you enjoy the Christmas?
I hate Christmas. It's like the opening sequence of Saving Private Ryan, except every third person is a woman puking into a handbag. People queuing to get into Yates's wine lodge. That sums up Christmas. You're queuing to get into somewhere shit. Just women who are praying for the invention of the morning after Bacardi Breezer.
You make Christmas specials a lot differently than we do in Australia.
Yeah.
See, this is the most miserable Christmas thing I've ever been involved in. This is my worst Christmas.
What is the recent news about Britain's population?
Oh, there's loads of us.
There's loads! There's loads!
It's now gone up to 61 million.
Now, this was reported by The Independent, for example, during the week, with baby boom drives British population to record high. Yep. Whereas The Sun said, randy couples push population to 61 million. You know what? And brilliantly, the Daily Mail said, an immigrant baby boom has fueling Britain's fastest population growth in half a century.
It sounds like there's an agenda in place. What was lovely as well was the links, because The Independent and the Mail all had links to how population is going to affect us in the future. The Sun had a link from that news story that said 11 million people have had sex in their car. Are you one of them?
I read about this story. I read about this story originally on the Daily Mail website, and it made a big thing about the immigrants. And then it said the average woman in Britain now has 1.9 children. And I thought, who are all these 0.9 people? And then I read the comments underneath, and there they were.
What we need
need to do, I think, is put teenagers off sex, and I am the very man for that job. You know the way they send a prisoner round sometimes to tell kids in school that crime isn't going to be good for them? They should send me round to show them what sex is like in a long-term relationship. And for realism, in the middle of it, my 2-year-old son walks in and tells us both that he needs a poo.
Hang on 1 second.
Oh, I've just got
You can lock the racist door, but you can't lock the bedroom door.
BNP, they got very excited by the baby boom statistics, didn't they? And you know, like Jerry Adams used to, when he was on the news, they always had to dub his voice, didn't they? I think for the BNP, whenever Nick Griffin's on the news, they should dub his voice with the voice of Joe Pasquale.
I think it'd be funny if it was Mr. T.
Sorry. Yeah, I was going to say, or like a Jamaican. In a patois.
Come over here.
BNP here.
You're trying to steal my jobs and thing.
When he steel drums in the background.
Does anyone hear a creaking door? We need to do some serious things to tackle the population problem, right? First of all, we should get Fiona Bruce during Antiques Roadshow to every 30 seconds go, boo! And secondly, we need a security firm patrolling Kerry Katona's vagina 24/7.
Okay, at the end of... At the end of that round, the points go to Russell, Holly and Andy. Now we come to our special Christmas quiz. I asked the panelists a series of questions all about the festive season in the hope of filling 5 minutes we're trying to get out of this of our Christmas special. So, teams, here we go. First question, what Christmas tradition was it? There are no buzzers or any points. This show is not built in any way to accommodate genuine quizzes. But nonetheless, you can take your turn. Which Christmas tradition was inaugurated by Sir Henry Cole in 1843?
Is it the Christmas tree?
It is not the Christmas tree.
Arguing with your relatives?
No, it's not that one either, I'm afraid. No.
Is it holding mistletoe above your head and therefore being allowed to sexually harass other people?
It is not that happy tradition, no.
Is it waking your children early, saying to them, oh, it looks like the sleeping pills have worked, happy Easter?
Is it going to church just once a year, and that's usually at midnight after the pubs have closed because you want one more glass of wine?
Man, you really want to be desperate for your wine, wouldn't you? It's something to bring up at an AA meeting. I sat through God. That's how much I wanted another drink.
Is it a Christmas stocking?
That's not Christmas stocking.
That's a Victorian tradition.
Were you trying to mine something there for us?
It was...
The Christmas card.
Yes! Well done, Ed Byrne. Points for him. Congratulations.
There are no points.
I know there are no points.
You promised us there'd be no points.
Name Santa's reindeer. I'll take attempts at this.
Donner and Blitzen.
Correct.
Prancer and Vixen.
That's 2 each.
Dasher.
Yes, 3-2.
It's like they're doing a duet.
Gonza. But not Rudolph. That's a lie.
We've had... What have we had? I've lost. I'm actually lost.
Donner and Blitzen.
Donner and Blitzen. Some Dasher, Comet.
Bashful.
Bashful and Sleepy. Doc and
If one's called Comet, one's going to be called Curries. Or
Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Comet, Vixen, Cupid.
Cupid?
No, we said Cupid.
Ridiculous name for a reindeer. Cupid.
They must have teased him, though, with a name like that. They must have teased him. He must have been the reindeer that they teased.
Reindeer are notoriously shallow, in fairness. If the story about Rudolph is anything to go by, reindeer are ridiculously shallow. And they will make fun and they will slag you off until you get a job with Santa, and then they will all love you. The last line of that song should actually be, and then Rudolph turned around at them and said, well, fuck yous, I'm with Santa now.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Why did you look at my ass for the entire... Why don't you fly the entire world while you look at my hole, right? I don't know how fast we fly, that's all you're going to see. Ho, ho, ho. Yeah, all you're going to see is my hairy reindeer ass going all around the world. The nose is in the front, bitches. The nose is fighting fog, but you're looking at my ass, Cupid. That's all you get.
Enjoy your reindeer game.
Oh, can we move on? Oh, sorry, is that not festive enough for this ridiculously good time? Sorry, am I not striking the mood of the nation at this stage? Yeah, look at the bitches! Look at that ass! See you, baby, shaking that ass, shaking that ass. Yeah. Good night. Ho, ho, ho. Okay, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is race. Who wants to come on that?
I remember that day. The Interracial Arm Wrestling World Championships. I'm a white man. Thank you. I'm a white man, which means that a lot of people hate me these days. But I'm a white man, so it doesn't matter. Literally the same. Not just that, I'm a young, white, middle-class, straight man. In the game of life, that is what's called a royal flush. I hit the jackpot, OK? I got lucky as shit, so everyone thinks my life is easy. Everyone thinks I've got it simple, but that's because they don't know my struggle, OK? My day-to-day, the shit I have to deal with on a daily basis. Do you know how often I'm sat in a coffee shop and someone asks me to watch their laptop for them? Just let me live my life! Yes, I am trustworthy, but don't assume that based on my appearance, OK? That is still discrimination. And yes, in this Cafe Nero, surrounded by all these mums, I'm unlikely to steal your Dell computer when I'm clearly already using a MacBook Pro. A superior laptop. But don't get too relaxed. I could just easily steal that Dell and repurpose it as a gift for someone I don't respect. Hard part for me about being those 5 things, that royal flush, is being a comedian. That's the hard part, because you're constantly told art comes from pain, right? To make great art, you've got to experience pain along the way in childhood or whatever, then harness that pain, turn it into art down the line. But I don't know the meaning of the word pain. I've never experienced any true pain. First time I even saw the word pain, I was in a patisserie.
Okay, the next topic is things you wouldn't hear on a train.
The next station will be Wimbledon. Change here for Overground, Underground and Womble free.
The next stop for this train will be Waterloo. It's not meant to be, but the brakes have failed.
Yeah, I just want to tell you I'm on the train. No, just everyone else is doing it. Thought I'd join in.
Hello, this is your driver speaking. Choo-choo!
Now an announcement for the people who insist on sitting the way the train is moving because sitting backwards feels weird. You're weird.
This train will shortly be arriving in Taunton. Please remember to turn off all mobile phones lest they mistake you for gods.
This is an announcement for all passengers. Piss off, a lot of you. This is Crossrail.
Due to Britain leaving the EU, this train will no longer stop at Ashby de la Zouch.
Bing bong! Could the owner of a missing xylophone please make their way to guard carriage?
This is an announcement for the passengers who are complaining that this service is late. Can I just point out that as this is Southern Rail, you're lucky to be on a fucking train at all.
Bing bong. This is the bullet train service to Tuck it. Oh, we're here. Everyone off.
Would the driver please contact the guard? We're doing 120. You don't seem to be in the cab, mate.
Please mind the gap between the timetable and reality.
There is a quiet carriage on this train for those shocked into silence by the price of the ticket.
Oh, don't get off here. I was listening to that.
I'm scared of tunnels. I'm so scared of tunnels.
At the end of that round, the boys are going to egg Hugh and James. There's just a small note from the desk that I get into my ear. Frankie, Hugh, just a tiny editorial just tweak. If we could have stuff which we actually can broadcast.
Nobody mentioned that.
They have been slagging off. Oh, cramp, man. It's just...
Sorry, that's
you
really...
managed
You got a sports injury in the first 20 minutes of the show.
Sorry. Morris, dance it off, Russell.
Yeah, I can't, man.
You've got to lie down.
Leave me alone.
Get down, get down!
I don't know what's wrong. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry.
It's really telling that the two guests in the show ran to help while the regulars all sat here on our fat holes going, he'll bounce back.
Sorry about that.
There was a fly. There wasn't a fly. There genuinely was. There was a...
Did you catch it?
No, I didn't. What am I, the fucking Karate Kid or something? No, I didn't.
Is it, in the last round of Mock the Week, scenes we'd like to see, how many goes am I going to get to go before...
To go?
To go. To go before Russell interrupts me because I've mispronounced what I was trying to say.
You three, particularly like that look like the evolution of man.
They could be walking like that. We'll have to turn that way.
Saying, weren't they, that Hurricane Katrina was down to... I'll start that again.
What were they saying,
I've got goo. I've got goo all over my face.
What?
Not the first time either.
Don't say that, mate.
Ding, ding.
Do you think I look like Pierce Brosnan with a mouthful of sweets?
At the end of that round... OK, sorry, I'll do it without slouching quite as much.
At the end of the round, bring me more.
You do iron in your shirt, right? You just say it.
In a vest, like a fat Marlon Brando at the end of his career. Just, what? Oh, yeah, points for Russell, and then back.
As it's the last week, let's just have you with, like, a rotisserie chicken.
Our next round is called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Holly, which category would you like?
Please, may I have home news?
OK, home news it is. The answer is poultry, axes and pills. What is the question?
Is this the ingredients for the hardest ever episode of Ready, Steady, Cook?
Is it what gave my sister the hen night she wasn't expecting?
Is it what 3 things are inadvisable to smuggle up your arse?
What are the only 3 ways I can still get the horn?
Is it what is the actual title of an aisle in Aldi?
Is it what accessories come with the Charlie Sheen action figure?
What 3 things do you need if you're going to cook cock ovalium?
Is it a night out of Bill Cosby?
Is it what respectively makes you a threat to vegans, trees and headaches?
Triple threat.
Is it what ingredients does Heston Blumenthal need to make a lemon meringue pie?
What are the only 3 things the BBC haven't managed to build a bake-off style show around?
What 3 things do you need if you're going to make an abattoir where the chickens have a choice?
Oh, that is... Wow, that is dark. So I put it to you again, Mac Cluckerson. Shall I do it or shall you do it? Then you know the correct answer.
What are you allowed to have a plastic... OK, what are you allowed to get a free plastic bag with if you're buying? I didn't say this right.
Say it one more time.
OK. Because it's really technical. Because it's like, what are you allowed... What? No, I can't do it.
You have all the bit...
What are the exceptions? OK, I've got it.
For which items?
What are the exceptions to the free plastic bag? No.
Yeah,
I've got it!
What 3 products would exempt you from the 5p charge on a plastic bag?
That's absolutely right. OK, here we go. In the week in which the government called for stricter driving tests, things you wouldn't hear on a driving test.
When I slap the dashboard with my forehead, I'd like you to crawl out of the wreckage and fetch help.
OK, when I give you the signal, I want you to wind the window down and call the cyclist a wanker.
Right, when I say go, foot down, straight through the jewellers, get where you can.
You made one mistake, sir. A Pine air freshener doesn't cover up the smell of a dead hitchhiker.
Well, if she doesn't get up, you've definitely failed.
Well, at least we know the airbags work.
When there's nobody else on a motorway, you should always drive in the middle lane, just in case you fall asleep, you've got a bit longer.
If I fail, can I still keep driving my taxi?
Me in a car. Can't believe it.
On my signal, I'd like you to mount the pavement and kill my ex-wife.